wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches, its clicks getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches, its clicks getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich.
I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Wiki leaking out, you dove into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. We wanna be. I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. Bitch, wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
I really had a big like a llama. I whip that thing out like Michael Obama.
We already had it with
I got that
Obama.
big
So
energy.
let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 I'm a whip the thing out like Michael Obama. I got that big energy. Ain't nobody wanna step like me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whip that ass like Michael Obama. Ain't got that clit, bitch. Hung like a llama. I'll whip that dick out. Layla hates the hotties. Oh yeah, Layla, she hates the hotties. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she hates the hotties. Oh yeah. She hates the hotties.
Can't you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing who our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, misfits, infiltrating cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically. Good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys. Good guys. Good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys. Good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically. Good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys. Good guys. Good guys.
Brap, brap. Big up yourself. Happy Friday night. Welcome to another episode of the Secret Society of Good Guys, where all of the good guys are actually accounted for. I'm so glad you guys are here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you are here this early. And if you do want to hang out with the coolest, most dangerous chat on the planet, go over to Project Chaney on YouTube and hang out with them while our YouTube channel lasts. Because we're
good guys. Good guys.
good guys, hung like a llama.
MAGA mystics. MAGA mystics. MAGA mystics. I love it.
How are you guys?
Fantastic. How are you, Chaney?
My camera shit the bed.
I'm so
using my
happy
computer
Thomas is
camera.
back. I missed him.
I miss Thomas.
I'm here.
Too.
I barely made it, but I made it.
Thank God.
Right?
It sounds
Yeah.
The
like
show
you got.
ain't the same without you,
It's not a
man.
party without you.
Yeah,
Shit.
for real.
That's right.
For real. For real. For
Yeah.
real.
Are you sicky poo?
I'm getting there. I think that's what I brought back from the comic convention. There was this old dude that had a table right next to mine that was telling me how he was an alien. He was like a mantis alien from another galaxy, and he was like an old Freemason dude. But he was like up in my face, and I'm almost positive that's where I got it from.
He was
So technically,
vaccinated.
I caught it from an alien.
You got alien disease.
You got the
right.
vax shed. That's what you got. You got the vax shed.
The shedding.
Mm-hmm. They turned something on, and all those people that got the jibbity jabbity juice, the prick, they got the prick from the prick.
They released a new top 40 song, and it starts like shooting out in all directions.
Yeah, they activated it, and now people are getting sick, and they're like, "But I was, pricked," and all of a sudden they're just getting sick left and right. I haven't got
I was
sick.
like, is this new? I haven't seen this one before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Chaney, the
I got
artist.
over my little sickness, but I know some people that theirs lingered a little longer, but they were all jibbity jabbed.
pricked.
Yeah, I think your body heals from things. I think sometimes, I think you're carrying around everything all the time in your body. And if you're not sleeping enough or not eating right or stressed out or whatever, or being radiated or chemtrailed or whatever, I think that your immune system gets low and those things turn on. So I think everybody's walking around with colds and flus and cancers all up in them, but your body's this little miracle worker that knows how to turn it all off unless you're Fauciing it up. That's kind of how I
Little
believe.
stowaways.
Yeah. Fauciing it up.
I've read a study from this doctor. I think he was killed actually because of his study. He actually found out, I forgot his name, but I will get back to you on the information. He found out that most people can have cancer over and over again and miraculously heal themselves and not know that they have cancer and just self heal. And they've probably had maybe cancer 4 or 5 times in their life. And they say, and according to his studies, conclusive evidence saying that he has realized that many people can cure their own cancer, and it's better just to let it go instead of treating it. People who treat it are, I don't know, this weird study, but I got to show it to you guys. It's very, very interesting.
Louise L. Hay, she wrote the book "You Can Heal Your Life," and it's powerful stuff. She healed herself from cervical cancer. So, and then she's helped a lot.
Not
of people
all
with that
cancers,
stuff.
by the way. Not all.
Well, no, I think there's so much to alkalining your diet and like energetically like praying or just knowing, there is something to that. Like if my spleen didn't explode, my route would have been different.
Oh
I
yeah, for
already
sure.
know. Like my
For sure.
entire route of treating my cancer would have been entirely different. That was part of the hard part, was getting myself mentally to feel inspired by poison. Like I didn't believe in medicine. So, but I have to believe this medicine's going to work if I want it to work. But instead, this is pretty much what I had to do. I just had to be
you
like,
have
I'm
to.
already healed.
Yeah.
I'm healed without that medicine. I just will go through that for my loved ones.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe in my heart or head or anything that medicine cured me. I do not believe that chemo had anything to do with it. I just think I cleaned up everything I was putting in my body. My spleen was already gone. So that was like trying to hold all the cancer at bay as well as it could until it couldn't anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so wild that your spleen's just like,
You're a walking miracle.
How much of your shadow work did you work through in that period of time too?
oh my
you know?
gosh.
Because your spleen is affiliated with worry, and so it's like if you have like shit, you're a conspiracy theorist. That comes with if you're black pilled, that comes with a big level of worry.
Well, I know it's kind of one of the reasons that I'm like, I'm sorry you guys are all in my fever dream and that I died, and you're gonna be so tired of winning.
I like that,
especially today.
Yeah, holy shit.
Holy fucking shit. I've never seen anything like this in my life besides that one time we talked about it. that last situation.
Do you feel like, okay, I don't want to sound like a doomer, but in a little bit, like we're just heading up to the election, like, or the inauguration, and it's just going to be DC and a hand on a Bible and then business as usual. Doesn't it feel too quiet in the false flag front?
It would be so awesome though if he did like a rug pull right as like inauguration is going on. He just does a rug pull on Trump coin. That would be the dopest
He wouldn't
thing
do
ever.
it. He wouldn't.
You guys, just so you guys know, if you aren't crypto people at all, legitimately like 2.5 hours ago, Trump released an official coin. And in 2.5, 3 hours, this coin, it's $9 billion, you guys. It's $9.
Record breaking.
Yeah, like it's unreal. Like he could just go with this coin and be like, I've decided I'm going to fix Hollywood.
He made hundreds of millionaires tonight. Hundreds of millionaires.
It is so
I'm not one
crazy.
of them, though.
It is just a wild. It feels like we're in the simulation.
I was napping. How many millions did I lose out on by taking a nap before this?
Millions.
Layla was at work.
Fucking, I'm pissed.
I told her I couldn't even type it. I was like, this is official. Like I did all the background work too. And I was like, okay, this is really his coin. I think I just typed La.
Chaney. Do you know how long it took me to fucking
I
try and
didn't
buy
write
$5 worth just on Phantom?
Yeah,
12
so
tries. 12 tries. And I was trying to buy it because I was like low on Solana and I couldn't fucking attach my account to it. Like shit was like fucked up. So I was like, fuck it. If I have $5, I'm going to try and invest in it. So I tried through the bot on Telegram and it wouldn't allow me to find like the $5 button to invest. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, so I kept trying and trying and trying. And finally at like the 7 billion market cap, I bought it. Just to say I bought it, like fuck it, whatever.
Vintage Love said my whole household got the fog flu. Remember that deep fog was going through parts of the country and people got sick? Well, it's interesting that Thomas isn't feeling well today and Florida has this crazy fog going on right now. Like when I walked outside of work, the air was so thick because it was freezing. It's been cold for a couple of days. And when I walked outside of work tonight, it was actually like a warmer temperature than it has been for probably 72 hours. Like Trump left and took some of the cold air with him to DC.
Donut.
To be fair, I've also been finding people in grocery stores that are like wearing their face diapers, and I've been ripping it off their face and open mouth kissing them like nonstop for the last week.
real?
So it might also be that.
I love
Open mouth,
that.
huh?
Yeah,
Licking those
you gotta
lips.
force them to live life
A little
sometimes.
Frenchie. A little Frenchie in there.
Gay robot fog.
They're turning the fog gay.
Yeah, they're turning the fog gay. That's so funny. Speaking of, did you see new Alex Jones?
Oh, the replacement?
No.
Is it like Ozempic Alex Jones?
It's meth Alex Jones. He has
That
those
actually
lines.
sounds like a good Alex Jones. Meth
Yeah.
Alex Jones sounds like the
seems
one
He
that I
has
want
like
to
the,
know.
Or is it
the
crack?
creases. Yeah. The
My
meth.
daughter works in like a mental institute for criminally insane, and she just had her listened to a conversation last night where the girls were like, "Oh, do you do meth?" And the girl's like, "No, I'm into crack."
Surprise.
These are the fucking craziest things.
We'll know if he starts selling Trump pillows,
Oh.
then you know that it was crack all
Bless
along.
you.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
I need to go
Some
to X
people
to
don't
pull
like,
it up.
bless you. I'm not religious.
I know. I always am like, if you're atheist, I'm sorry you sneezed.
Deal with it.
Okay, let's see. Alex Jones. What else is going on? Look at I caught Thomas's cold. Turing theory.
He sent it through the ether.
Damn
I'm
fog.
starting prep, y'all, so I have a show in probably 12 weeks.
Oh, nice.
It's a rush prep too, because usually you start at 20 weeks out, and so I'm like, but I've been cutting for a while, so I'm gonna be crazy and super lean, and my face is gonna get scary here pretty quick. But I'll be shredded.
Alex Jones looks kind of fine to me when he's moving. I keep seeing stills, but just looking at him moving, I'm like, okay, he's just a thinner version.
Yeah, who looks like Alex Jones there?
Yeah.
But
it
is
just looks
he?
like AJ.
Did they replace him?
Alex Jones.
How many do we need? How many backups do you think they've got of Alex?
Dude, they're all on an island. They're just retired now. They just retire and they say they died, or they just replace them with a fucking body double, and boom, they go to
Like
their
the movie
island.
The Island.
Yeah.
What did Brittany say about clones the other day?
Yeah, Brittany even tweeted out, like, people
clones,
think
yeah.
I'm cloned.
I wish I were, but I'm not. That's what she said. They're making AI agents that are like clones of people.
Is that the first time she's acknowledged clones in a public way?
I don't think so, because didn't she at one point in public like do this whole thing where she said that they keep cloning her, and one of her songs is about it?
Yeah, one of her songs are about it.
Brittany, bitch.
Brittany, bitch.
Brittany, bitch.
I forgot what song it was.
Trump coin or Britney clone? Which one do you think is going to moon this year?
Trump one. Sorry, Brit, but it's Trump.
I
love you, Brittany, but Trump, I mean,
it is
worldwide.
Really bullish if you think about a crypto president making a coin. And it just seems like such a weird Solana play. I won't talk all about crypto, but it is so crazy that it is the 17th. He releases his own coin today. It's at the crypto conference.
You know what, too? That it happens so quickly in the crypto space that you can do something and it'll take the world at least a few days to catch up and start hating on you for it and doing all the investigations and all the hit articles. And by then, you might have already made all the moves that you need to make. Like it moves so rapidly.
This is like kind of the art of the deal shit, is all this mainstream media. Do they want to even write about this coin at all and help push it? Or does all of a sudden BlackRock have to move all their money over to buy this coin? Is this a purpose coin to try to rug BlackRock so that they can take, because they want a digital, like a Fort Knox of digital currency that the dollar would also be backed by. And so it would also prevent some kind of rug pulls on some of these coins. If there was a bunch of different options in it, it's kind of crazy because it's just a Solana coin. And if you look at every other chart right now of every other coin, it all has the same pattern, except Solana's going up and its infrastructure is in America. So I just think that's curious too.
Coincidence?
Coincidence?
Coincidence? I think not. That's
so
strange how that
curious.
word is in there. In the
Yeah, it is.
coincidence.
I gotta hold back my laughter so I don't have like a coughing fit.
Oh, that's the worst. I feel like we all had to go through it. I'm sorry that you're
Not
sorry that you're
me.
sick.
I'm never sick.
That's what I used to say.
I'm telling my body I'm never sick.
Yeah, not having a white blood cell cleaner is definitely I've never gotten the sniffles as much as I have since I haven't had a spleen. But whatever. I never, even allergies, I'm like, whatever.
Who needs a spleen? Shit.
Who needs a spleen?
Trump coin. Yes.
It doesn't even
Trump
have a real
coin.
name. Come on, if you really needed it, they would have had a better name than spleen for it.
That's what I think. Spleen.
It's called
Like the
official
only organ
Trump.
on the left side too, right?
Just for anyone who wants to know, if you go to Trump's page or his True Social, he actually tweeted out and talks about his meme, like the official Trump meme. And if you look in the picture underneath it is the official wallet address, the CA, the contract address.
This chart is crazy.
It is crazy. It is insane. And it just
$1 billion in volume. What?
in a
What?
few out, it feels like we're living in I don't even know who says it. I feel like it's
I
Alan
can't.
Marcus or something that always says simulacrum. Like it feels bigger than a simulation. Like something going
Yo.
on right now feels like we're in Russian dolls for real.
This is crazy.
And you were saying before that this is enough money to fix California. What a waste, though. Why would you waste any of the hit on that?
On Cali.
I would
To
never
clean
waste
back
my
up
money on
Hollywood.
Cali. No
Go
way.
in.
There's some problems that money can't solve, and I think Hollywood's one of those.
What do you guys think about Trump saying like pretty much that he's gonna make Mel Gibson and like
That was weird.
Sylvester Stallone
and John Voight, all like Hollywood czars, and they're gonna report back to him.
I need Mel Gibson to have another resurgence in Hollywood because
Well, he is.
I don't know if it was a rumor, but he was supposed to have been working on a Rothschild biopic. And
Well,
there's nothing I want more before I die than to see a Mel Gibson Rothschild movie.
Well, I think before that, he's actually doing Jesus Part 2, the Resurrection.
Jesus is back and he's pissed.
Resurrection. So he's working on that right now. But my whole thought on this is like how we are the good guys, even though we still play in the Matrix and try to like win by playing in the Matrix. I think these are the good guys. As much as people want to show these fucking pictures of like the one eye, look, I'm doing it right now. Does it mean that I'm fucking
Take
part
those
of the club?
pictures, you guys.
Take them right now. Take them right now. All right. Does that mean I'm part of the cult, the club?
Yeah,
Absolutely
you're
not.
controlled ops.
Will I participate?
That's what they
to
called
try-
us, right?
Yeah. I will
On
try
Twitter.
and play the game just to get the juice. If I want to like play as a good guy, I will be the bad guy. I will play the bad guy. I'll participate in the game. But when it comes time to like get serious, I'm going to be the good guy and I'm going to expose everything. So this idea of them like the golden era of Hollywood, I think it's going to be a different type of Hollywood that we've been seeing right now, and very like sexual and very violent and very I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to be high vibrational, hopefully. Unless
But
I
I
think there
don't
wouldn't
need
be a
every
Hollywood without straight up Satan. So it's going to be hard to remove. Like it's going to be hard to separate the two things entirely like that.
that's true. But then who knows? Maybe Trump is, part of it and we're all getting fooled, but it's okay. As long as I'm making money, I don't give a shit now. At this point, it is what it is. Can I fucking change anything? No, I could speak to you guys and maybe make a difference here, but can I actually change the reality? Probably not. So let me just play the game and make money. Go Trump. Yes, cabal.
I do think it's interesting that all the controlled fires also, it's like with the Olympics and the 15-minute cities and everything going on in Los Angeles, that it just seems like, oh, then they get a whole bunch of money from the federal government. So all the other states' tax dollars go into rebuilding exactly what they want there for that no humans will be able to afford to live in anyway.
Mm.
you even wonder what the medium, like they're like 80,000 people are displaced from their homes. What are the median price of their homes?
Do you know there's no homelessness in the world? Most of the majority of the world. Do you know why? Because we're not taxing our citizens to live in their homes. Apparently, the red note that everybody's going to is finding out a lot of things about China and why there is no homelessness and why people live the way they live, and a lot of lies that we're being fed about Chinese life and how they live life there. Man, you buy your house, you're not paying taxes ever again. You live there till you die. You don't have to pay a cent after that. After you purchase your home, it's yours. But
Until
here,
the state decides they need to come in and extract you from it.
no, people are learning now. Like they're learning a lot. They're paying fucking 6 pounds of corn for 98 cents while we're paying £3 like a pound for $3. This is why they don't want us to like switch things and like find out about different countries. That's why they want to ban all these things so that we don't learn the information. Now they're learning so much, switching over to Commie Central, which I don't approve of. Don't go there. Like, why would you want to go onto that app? Like, it's all
Well, like Red Note?
Yeah, the Red Note.
Well, it's like, what about if it was all kind of a plan? So then all these already socialist, commie thinking people, and then they're like, yeah, look at our government. Yeah, they'll let you live in it till you die. And then after you die, they put it back into the government and somebody else gets to it. It never stays in your family. There's no such thing as generational wealth.
I don't think that's the case either. You
I
can't
don't know.
pass it
I've had a
along.
couple of friends live in China, and it's a whole different
Maybe, yeah,
place.
maybe it's a psyop. You can't trust
I
everything.
say we all move to China and just give it a shot.
Hell
What's the
no.
worst that could
Hell
happen?
no. I'll go to Japan, not China.
Ketamine. They're all addicted to ketamine in China.
Anime. I'm addicted to anime. I'd become one of those anime characters, like real life.
Is that Japan?
Yeah. Japanese. Japan.
I feel like Japan got set up in World War II by China.
Wait, what?
I feel like Japan got set up in World War II by China, so we would go and drop bombs on them.
Oh, not Soros? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it
They were like
always...
the bully that like convinced the nerd to like attack the other nerd. Like, hey, he's been talking about you. You should go over there. You're gonna let him do that? You should go take a swing.
Let's paint a big red dot on the side of our plane, and they'll just think it's Japan. It just seems like the easiest thing in the whole world. Like, I don't know.
That is interesting though, because when false flags come up, most people just consider like the US false flags, but wouldn't every country on the planet essentially have operated in some kind of a false flag at some point?
Yeah, and it's interesting because all of the Navy officers that were aboard the boat when the plane landed on it before it dropped, like, what, Big Boy and Little Man or something on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, it was Army that landed on the Navy vessel, and they were like, what the fuck? Everybody on the plane was kind of like, what is going on here? This isn't right. So then not only do those two bombs get dropped, they take off from the Navy vessel and land in China. So it's like another country's not going to let you just drop the biggest military weapon of all time and then land your vessel in their country unless they're privy to that thing. And so it just, I don't know. I even think Japanese internment camps were Chinese military bases. I think Area 51 was Chinese technology. I just think there's so much stuff that it's like, even when people are like, oh, there was small people inside. What, like little Chinese men? Like they're small compared to, I don't know.
And also, I believe that Dragon Ball Z was trying to tell you some truth. The Japanese were trying to tell you some truth through Dragon Ball Z. All right. I love fucking Dragon Ball Z. Japanese.
Well, that was originally made for a much older audience, but someone from the West was like, "Oh, cartoon, it's for babies," and they just brought it over without realizing what they were doing.
Was it Master Roshi and his like obsession for women and his the old guy, right? Master Roshi.
And there's even like there's some very adult there's even like some non-YouTube friendly topics that happen within the main plot line of that show.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Non-YouTube friendly, huh?
So great.
What about Last Airbender?
That too.
It's my favorite. I actually go to sleep to that almost every night.
I love the
Really?
cartoon. I don't like the movie or the realistic version. I love the cartoon.
That was the M. Night Shyamalan, right?
I think. The what?
It's one
The
of best.
movie was M.
Oh,
Night
yeah.
Shyamalan.
Yeah. I didn't watch it because if
I
you're
watched it,
remaking
but I didn't-
something into like realistic, it's not going to be as good as the cartoon ever.
The movie wasn't bad, but I don't know. It wasn't you can't put like 4 fucking seasons into a
movie.
2-hour movie. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Perfect Blue as an anime? I just watched it this week for a podcast that I was doing, and it's
No.
actually it's like a legit movie. It's like a real movie. It just happens to be anime. It's about this chick that is like a pop star and wants to transition into being an actor instead of being like a music star, but she loses her identity and it turns into this weird movie about disassociative identity and multiple personalities. It's got like some really thick MK Ultra vibes.
Huh. The only ones I watched was Vampire Hunter D. I love that fucking anime. That was like, I mean, if you're a true anime lover, you know that fucking anime. Like that was in the 80s, chef's kiss. And what's that lady with the weird body? That cartoon. Oh my god. She's like a superhero. Oh my god. What's her name? She had like a weird haircut, like really slim waist and like thick hips.
This is like every female superhero.
Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a weird, creepy, weird, like fucking cartoon anime. Something Flux, Eon Flux.
Oh,
There you
Eon
go.
Flux, yeah.
Oh, I love that one. It was so weird watching it as a kid. I was like, yo, this is so weird.
That was from like Liquid
Ugh.
Television, I
Yeah.
think, on MTV.
So
They had like
good.
The Head and The Max was on there.
Yeah, I like it was like programmed into my mind watching
The
that.
fly
Like,
trapping the eyelashes.
yeah, like it never escaped my mind. And I remember I was like 6 years old, 5 years old watching this shit. I'm like, yo, this is so weird, but I love it. I couldn't stop watching it.
Your Name is
Ultra.
an anime movie that's so fucking good. Like because it has the dream element, and these two characters like switch bodies when they dream. And they don't
Mhm.
realize that they're doing it, but well, they figure it out because it's a male and a female. So of course, the guy's sitting there like touching his boobs and stuff. But it's fucking great.
I love it. I love anime. Not so much anymore, but I still love it.
William. Oh, did somebody else figure it out? Because I see him in chat now, or is he in a different chat?
Ban him.
Failed.
Out
I
of here.
hope he's in because I'm like, I cannot figure out how to do this, and I will figure it out this week. I'll put it on my stuff, but I cannot figure it out in the moment, or I'll just get frustrated. My head cannot even conceptualize how to do this. Unban.
Unban William.
Siri, unban William.
No.
Unban William.
I wish I did have a bot. Wait until I have my AI model. Okay. I did write it on the top of my thing. So I apologize and I hope it's worked out. And if it's not, I will. And for anyone watching this on some other platform, Rumble or X, thank you. Hit the like and subscribe and don't mind this.
Also, seriously, guys, like I'm not joking. Follow me on X. Big, the coin that I always talk about, like literally always talk about. This shit is growing. It already hit the 1.1 million market cap and it's still early. If you want to make a couple $100, put in $100. Just like fucking do it. This is like actually something that's being backed up by something. It's a 404 RWA, like all the I guess the transfer, I guess when you're buying and the gas, the cost of the gas when you're buying the coin, that money is actually going into the project of real estate. So they're actually building things with that money. So this is like not a fucking bullshit coin. This is an opportunity for you guys to become of become part of something that will catch on to something huge because it's already like huge. All the NFTs sold out, the PFPs are sold out. So right now is the time to like buy before it starts fucking like hitting the billions, because it will.
They're
I'm
putting
telling
all the
you, it
gas
will.
fees in to buy Zorro Ranch.
Like, follow me on Skrill. Like, I will hook you up. And no, this is not paid advertisement. This is me just telling you guys, don't miss out on the opportunity. That's all. But if you want to miss it, it's cool too. It's okay.
Someone in the comments mentioned the Max and bum fights. This is a fun fact, but my first paid gig ever was doing the music for bum fights, volumes like 2 and 3, and a whole bunch of other projects.
Thank you,
Bum
Sherry,
fights.
Lucy. Love you, ladies.
You remember bum fights?
Yes,
That was a
that's
flash in the pan.
where people. It was kind of right around the time where girls were going wild.
Girls
Whatever
go
happened to all of
wild.
them?
Club
Are they still
Lavella.
wild?
Well,
I
Go on.
live in the town where they shot all those videos. They all used to party at this Club La Villa in PCB. And all of the producers of that show would fucking make all these videos at this fucking club called Club La Villa in PCB. And they shut down because of trafficking women, drugs, rape charges, drug charges, like all kinds of fucking charges just shot up, and they had
Just
to
a
shut
normal
down the
night in the
place.
90s, basically, is what you're
Yeah.
describing.
Pretty much. A lot of underage girls being trafficked and all that. So
yeah, it was in a lot of different cities around the country during spring break. And
Mhm.
the guy, he is Kim Kardashian's best friend. The like head guy who did it. He's like, yeah, him and Kim Kardashian.
I'm not
But he
surprised.
probably helped Kris Kardashian release Kim's sex tape.
Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised.
No, that
Whore.
seems like, I mean, it was kind of like their reality TV show. And that's where everybody's like, oh, COVID killed the movies. No, our big TVs in our house and not having it in commercials killed the movies. The movies were dying a long time before, and they just used COVID as an excuse. And I feel like Hollywood was dying a long time before because of reality TV, and even shows like this, like splintered out into everybody being, now on a microphone themselves, that Hollywood has already been tumbling down, and they need a big, huge excuse, like a big write-off, like a big.
Good riddance to movie theaters being on the way out. Good riddance. Screw them.
I love movie theaters. That would be sad if they stopped.
Oh,
making
I've
those.
never liked the movie theater.
Me
Like,
neither.
hit pause. I gotta pee. Like, hit pause already.
Or it just feels like a fart chair.
Oh yeah.
It just feels like you're sitting in somebody else's
Being in
fart.
the movie theater when the lights actually come on after it's over, it's very similar to being in the strip club when the lights come on. It's like, oh,
Listen.
what am I doing here? I was touching that.
When everything's closed, like on the holidays or Christmas and all that, like what's open? The fucking movie theaters. You want to do something? Go to the fucking movie theaters. The movie theaters are always open.
Don't you think that was on purpose? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, look at what we can propagate them with all on the same day.
Another psyop.
Yeah, I know. They're like, this is perfect. They all go to the movies. It is.
It's so weird how it works though, because it's the same thing as doing any big campaign release or like a product launch. Like movies are just another version of product launches where they can't just release it and be like, all right, the movie's done, go watch it, because they need to build hype. They need like that hype train where people are talking about it and there's like news articles. And if you don't fit it into this weird marketing model, you don't get all that extra ancillary attention.
What is it? What's that face for, Layla?
Tequila. Talika. That's what I call it now.
Layla's drink. Oh, I didn't even see you take a sip. I just saw your face.
I have to make that face. It's just like, ugh, but I love it.
What else is going on? There's been drones. There's the Los Angeles fires.
I have a question. Why do you think they're making the inauguration instead of indoors? The real reason.
Safety.
What's your take?
Safety. I think there's already been some kind of warnings, and so they're using the cold, and I just think it's too quiet, and they must think, if I'm thinking it's too quiet, no false flags, no like fake Iran thing or fake Palestinian or no Antifa. No one's marching with a pink pussy hat even. Like, it just seems like something's amiss.
See, if more people, this is going to sound bad, but if more people don't shoot their shot over the next 4 years, it almost seems that all of the fervor and all of the the panicking that was getting drummed up by every major outlet for the last 4 years, it almost makes them seem flaccid, right? Like they have absolutely no power because they were saying like this is the second coming. This is or this is going to be like Satan coming on earth, the world's going to end. So if you're even halfway rational, you would take that as a nod of like and do something about it. That's the ... that they can't
Why'd
say
you have to
on
say
the air.
flaccid? I'm just like in my
Flaccid.
head, I didn't hear anything you said after
Limp
that. 'cause
dick.
all I do is think of limp dick, and I'm like, flaccid. That's like the grossest word for a fucking penis.
Abby's just picturing her clawfoot
Nobody
tub
likes
just
limp dick.
sliding on the floor
Flaccid
with
and
old
moist.
soft legs.
Nobody likes a slug. Sorry.
Thomas had to say flaccid. Abbie can't fucking compute any word after it.
Now I even forgot what we were talking about because of
I
the
know, I'm so
clawfoot
sorry,
tub with
Thomas.
slug
I'm so
legs.
sorry.
Clawfoot tub with slug legs is all I picture.
We're the big dick energy show, just like Michael Obama, excuse me.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting thing. So Big Mike wasn't at Jimmy Carter's funeral. And then
Oh, that's
also
right.
isn't going to the inauguration or anything. And people are like, well, she hates Trump. She hates Trump.
She stopped taking her injections for feminizing. She probably looks more like her original state now.
You guys, I heard fucking slaying gossip. And I want to shout out to my Maria 777 because she has a new show coming out and she'll advertise it if she has been already. I don't know what the whole deal is, but she blew my mind with this one. So apparently, word on the street is, rumor is that Big Mike and Obama are not together. They're in the middle of getting a divorce because, drum roll, Obama's hooking up with Jennifer Aniston.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Because I remember.
Well, I believe that. She's a man
when he
too.
was in the Oval
That's
Office.
what some people are like. Well, I guess it's proof. Jennifer
Well, there you
Aniston's
go.
a
That's
man.
where I'm at now. I guess she is a dude, I guess.
That's my first thought too. But then I was thinking about when he was in the Oval Office, I remember them talking about how he had a private meeting in the Oval Office with Shakira. And I was like, huh, that's not a sketch at all.
Shakira.
I mean, this is basically every president or cult leader
Yeah,
eventually trades
right.
in the political and the financial capital for just strange.
So Obama swings both ways, huh? But maybe that's probably most of the elite.
So who's Big Mike gonna latch on to next?
I don't know. Big Mike is not cute. I remember that was a fight that my mom got into with my mother-in-law once in real life. This is
Whether
real.
or not Michelle Obama was cute.
This is a real life fight that happened in because Jules and I was pre us being married and it was like during us planning a wedding. And my mom put on Facebook that Michelle Obama looks like a monkey and she was agreeing with Roseanne and she just like wrote that. So then my wife's mom came on and she was like, Patty, that is not a very Christian thing to say. Dude, you might as well have fucking kicked my mom in the cunt if you try to question how Christian she is. And my mom told my wife's mom, you need to leave this table right now. Like she kicked her away from their group of friends. And then she's like, oh, like my wife's mom had to pay. And she's like, you know, it is not. And she's like, I just think it sounds racist. She called my mom a racist. And my mom was like, I would think she was ugly, whatever color her skin was. This isn't a racist statement. And it ended up being this whole thing about Michelle Obama looking like a monkey. And so I'm like, but she does look just like Helen Bonham Carter from Planet of the Apes. I will stick up for anyone who says it. I'm like, if you look up Helen Bonham Carter on Planet of the Apes, legitimately Michelle Obama looks just like that bitch. I'll pull her up right now. I forgot.
I think it's wrong how any one race can get claim to someone in the animal kingdom. It would be like, oh, don't call someone a dog because that's offensive to a certain race. So it's weird to have it apply to just one race.
Yeah, it really is.
It seems racist to just apply it to one race.
Almost 12 billion.
Oh wait, it was Valerie Jarrett that after I just saw Helen Bonham Carter as Planet of the Apes, I'm like, oh yeah, it was Valerie Jarrett that that Roseanne said looked like Planet of the Apes, not Michelle Obama. That was purely my mom. Because
I think everyone agreed with Roseanne's statement, but everyone
that's
also
Valerie
learned,
Jarrett.
We learned in real time you're not allowed to agree with Roseanne when, you know, other people have already said it a certain way.
Roseanne, it's so fun, the character of Roseanne on the timeline. Like if you would have asked young me, I would pick for Roseanne to be here. And like, who's Madonna? Like I like where somebody's like, if you would have asked young me of who would be more attractive when we were older, Roseanne or Madonna, and how much hotter Roseanne is.
Did you guys see her video with Tom McDonald?
Oh yeah, she's got like dreads going on.
Yeah, they did this rap video, and then like one of the lyrics, she says, "Why are you trying to turn Becky into Dan?"
That's pretty funny.
Shout out to Katie Cuneo because she sent that to me earlier. So
12 billion already. That's crazy.
Did you? Oh, you did end up getting some.
But that 5 is now worth
$5.
Like 10,000, right?
Because I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? Oh
I know, and you're like, sorry, I don't have any. I'm not trading anything right now.
I was like, fuck it, $5, whatever. I wasn't prepared. I was not ready for it.
I need to have a new code emoji with you of when it's like no bullshit. Like it needs to be bacon.
Yeah.
Like I just send you, if I send you a line of bacon, nails, just do it. It doesn't even matter. But there has to be another one too, like because like that one chart where you're like, I don't even care. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm gonna turn it off. And then
piggy bank.
If I'm telling you to look at a chart, just look at it.
Yeah.
Or just pull it.
Fucking 12 bill. Oh my god, this is crazy. Anyway, let me stop looking.
How much longer are humans even going to be involved in this process, though? At a certain point, you're just going to assume that your AI agent will like jump on those coins because
AI is reading our thoughts, Thomas. Okay, here's the story. For the past week, I've been sharing coin ideas that I want to draw because I'm pretty nice with the drawing. I have my sketchbook and whatever on my phone. And I'm jotting these ideas down and I'm talking a lot with my sister. And I'm like, I want to make a pill coin with a bunch of different pills with cute faces and different shapes and different colors and blah, blah, blah. Next day, boom, pill coin jumps up. Yesterday, I was talking about making a Jetsons coin, like inspiration of that, or the Flintstones. Boom, both those coins today. And I feel like AI is tied in with whatever's listening to us and creating their own coins by themselves through these AI agent clones. And I feel like we do not have the power unless you're like away from your phone, jotting away your ideas in your room by yourself without speaking a word out loud and just doing.
But even your ideas, it's so crazy. This is... There is a version of you that exists that is every keystroke you've ever made, and the AI knows you better than you know you. And that part is like our egos can't handle it. It sounds so weird. Like, no, the AI doesn't know I'm going to do this. But watch, later on some video will come up, or like Brittany will be doing that or some shit where it'll be like, what is this? Like I'll end up sending you something after I get off that'll have something to do with how did this attach to this? How is this even possible? And that feels like a thing. I keep saying pogo ball. Like I keep the most random things that come into my head. I'll say it out loud now because I'm like, okay, if you're going to be listening to me all the time, you little court reporter, let's like do work, like turn it into more this. Like I wanted a little more Lisa Frank. Like I don't want it to be so dark and doomy.
Yeah, it's not dark and doomy at all, but they want us to believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of your mind. Even you doomers out there.
Have you seen the Lisa Frank documentary that came out yet? I haven't
Oh.
either. I was just
I
curious if
didn't
you
know there
guys
was
have,
one
because
that came
apparently it's like
out.
this big expose and
Really?
everything.
Oh, I know. I did see a clip of actually who is the real creator of the art of Lisa Frank, and it's not Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank has a whole actual different drawing style and painting style. It's actually her husband who made the images of Lisa Frank, but named it Lisa Frank. But the actual artist is the husband and not Lisa Frank. I was like, I didn't fucking know that. I thought it was a woman behind the whole idea.
It was actually made by Frank
Yeah,
Lisa.
yeah. The dude, the husband, the
It would have
hubby.
been creepy if it was a grown man making like girls trapper keepers.
That's kind of exactly what was happening, though.
So they're like, maybe we'll
Pedophile.
just put a name on it, like a little girl's name on it. But isn't that exactly what Anne Frank's dad did too?
With a ballpoint
Yeah, I
pen.
feel like it was like he was a banker or like a financial guy, and every other person in his family died but him, and he took supposedly this diary of his daughter and ends up making tons of money with it. But like it was just from some dude.
This was one of my original conspiracy theories in like grade school or middle. It was like in middle school, I think, was the Anne Frank diary, and also this book that almost every teacher makes most classes read, which was Night by Elie Wiesel, I think. And that had a very similar backstory. That if you actually, because I went to do a book report on it, and I found out that the guy had basically retold other people's stories that he had heard and slapped his name on it and wrote it from like a first person perspective. But it just was it was wild to me that this was like required reading, that all the teachers were like, you're gonna have to read this book at some point. And it was all based on, I guess, fabricated stories that were just being retold.
I think it's so crazy. It was Lisa Frank that made me realize Lisa Ann Frankenstein, I thought was like the most one of a kind idea. And me and my Maria were hanging out and like smoking and like thought it was so funny. We were dying laughing and we were like, we're going to create this thing. And then we put it in Google and found all these images that were like everything we were already saying. Like somebody else already did it. It wasn't even the algorithm. It was like, there's nothing original anymore. It's all been done. Like,
We've created something miraculous and we don't even understand it yet. Like the majority of people don't even understand like what we have created. Like we've created a whole other type of entity into this realm, which is mind-blowing to me. And it's not like a god thing. Like we're the gods that created it, but it's like a tool. It's almost scary. It's not scary, but like I'm scared of the mentality of how people are today in this world, like how they like for instance, they created sex bots and like they already treat women like sexual objects, but now they're blatantly saying the craziest shit about these AI, not AI, well, they're AI, but actual sex doll robots. Like, oh, does she speak? Can she know how to shut up? Oh, does she feel pain? Is she into this? Can I program her to do this? Like the weirdest fuckery coming out of these men's mouth that I'm like, I ain't surprised. Like they already sexualize and objectify women, real women. The shit that they're gonna do with these fucking robots, I actually feel bad for these robots.
do you
Sentient
feel
or
like
not.
Westworld? Isn't this the whole entire premise of
Yeah,
Westworld?
it really is.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Oh, but it's, pulling them away from actually raping actual real women. But
And use a
we're
fucking sex
creating
doll. Don't fucking
things,
do it to something. Yeah, like
real or
it
not,
still
they're
seems like
real.
yeah.
Like sentient or not, they're real. They actually exist. Do they have
And your
feelings or not?
intention is still there, like to
Yeah,
be a
thank
fucking
you.
perverted motherfucker, asshole.
Is it any different than a guy just banging his calculator, though?
I mean, did you see the
And
video of the guy
it's
fucking
Yeah,
his car?
like he would do it
I
to a
felt
woman
bad
if he
for the
could,
car.
right?
but if it's a program, then isn't it consensual?
It's like being used for like a purpose that we're trying to pull out of like a slavery mindset. Aren't we trying to get away from slavery, but we're creating like new slaves for the thing? Like we're not really curing anything. We're putting a bandage over it. like we do with everything else.
But there's other weird things at play too, though. Like one of the most dangerous Disney movies, in my opinion, is Toy Story 3, because this is the one where at the end of the movie they show all the toys being like incinerated, and the kids are like, "Oh my god!" Because like Woody is real and Buzz is real, like they've got like actual souls in them. But the premise of the movie is to teach kids to not throw out their toys because their toys have some kind of a soul or a spirit in them, which seems dangerous to like, hey, those material items that you're supposed to be free from, actually don't throw those away. Don't give them away. Keep them forever because there's souls inside of those. And I almost feel that this discussion, it kind of is that on steroids. It's like 100x of that. Now it's like every software design, every image ever created, they all have some kind of soul, which might be a dangerous precedent because it almost feels like a zero-sum game, that if more robots and toys and material items have soul, then it's almost like humans have less soul. Like it like belittles the cost
let me
of it.
bring this up for a second. Hidden Hand talks about battery operated boyfriend like a dildo or a fucking vibrator. It's not an actual like replica of like a human body, for instance. We're just using it to fill a hole. We're not doing anything fucking weird or creepy
It's
or
a hell of a
fucking
lot harder to use your hands for a woman.
you
A
know,
man can just use his hand, you're fine. Like it's so different.
we're not
Well,
violating.
we can, but I mean it's not as
We're not
easy.
gonna like put ropes around it or fucking gag it or fucking like do the crazy shit that you guys
No.
fucking do. Maybe actually have your animal fuck it too, like the crazy shit that you men are into. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Dildos and robots, like female robots, are two totally different things. Just throwing it out there. Get the fuck out of here.
Enough with these double standards.
Sick of that.
Enough with these double standards.
Oh,
He
should we
said-
just go already?
No, but
go ahead and
this is
fuck
what-
all the men out there, and so you guys can call us whores. Then,
you
right?
can't go at him. He says he knows 2 girls that have vibrators that call him Bob, battery operated boyfriends.
They're sick
Who
in the
names their
head.
vibrators? I know.
They're sick in the head.
He knows 2 girls, and if you name your vibrator, you're on notice.
My vibrators do not have names.
No, they don't.
Oh shit!
They're just there if I don't want to hit
It's
anybody
a
up,
tool. Yeah.
and just like you know.
Do you believe if you're like having an orgasm, that gratitude would make you like powerful manifester?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Absolutely.
So then, like sex magic, that would like
Yeah.
in your wand.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Your ovarian, your ovary, your what's it called? Yeah.
Your intention with the sex, and when you go into it, like I have an intention, I'm going to use this magic for that intention. I've had many things happen to me because of that.
Do you think in the same way, like they say men are visual, and like, do you think the same way that porn desensitizes men, vibrators desensitize women?
Yes.
Mhm.
If they're like too much of something is no good. If you're just depending on that, that's a little sad.
Didn't they used to be doctor prescribed? Like the doctor would come over and you'd be like, my wife,
She's
she's just a
hysteric.
lot to handle
Yeah.
lately. And he's like,
It was
Don't
the cure
worry, I
for
got this.
hysteria.
Yeah, for hysteria, and we'd all be in theater watching with a like plexiglass, like 2-way mirror or whatever those are called. Yeah, and we
Yeah, but then you have the whole like women can go over and over and over and over and over and over again. Men maybe like once, twice, 3 times if I'm lucky. Yee.
3
Like,
times a lady.
once, twice, 3 times.
You
a
know,
week.
like when you have your toy, you know, and you're in that mood, because women get in that mood 10, 12 times. Hey, keep it going. Like energize a bunny. If y'all can keep it up, maybe we wouldn't need the toys. Just saying, we're trying to fix a problem here, okay?
Or, you know, learn to go down really well.
Yeah, that too. I was told by a man.
Well, that's something that the robot's not going to ask you to do.
I was told by a man, you always ask a man a question. Do you eat
Yes.
pussy? And
That
if
was
they say, yeah, you know, if they hesitate to answer the question, they don't. If they're like, hell, motherfucking yeah, they do. Like
Then
if
he
they
should
don't
be your
hesitate,
friend.
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
I know that guy was right. I was like, when he said that, it made so much sense because I was with you when he told us that story. I was like,
Yeah, you were with me. I can't believe it.
and I was like,
I forgot.
good point. Yeah, that's a really good question to ask. And like, if they're on the fence about it, then nah.
Nah, he's lying.
Yep.
He's lying.
Yeah, men created vibrators.
Y'all hating on me now just because I'm keeping it real? My God.
I wonder the first guy that invented it. He like, there's no way that was his first idea for it. He probably stuck that thing in so many different places until like they arrived at that particular use. Is like when they found penicillin, right? It wasn't like they just started eating moldy bread because they knew it was gonna like ward off scurvy or something. They actually probably tried all sorts of things.
Well, like
with it.
Real Sex, those shows on HBO way back when, I remember them talking about Cleopatra had a box of bees beside her bed for that purpose.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yep. So they were saying that like dildos and like vibrators go way back, but they used to use
That vibrator was called the Stinger.
the Stinger. Yeah.
That was the original honey trap.
It was a little dangerous. Especially if you're allergic to bee stings.
My gosh. I don't know. I mean, sex it sells, and it is a control mechanism for every culture somewhere.
14 bill already. Almost on 15. This is crazy, y'all.
Stop looking at it.
I can't help it. Like, this is history in the making.
I know, it really is happening right now, and it's like it's so weird. It's almost like a Bitcoin of its own. I don't know. It's so wild. It's its own crypto, its own currency. And then I'm like, is a president allowed to make a coin? Oh yeah, he's not the president. He's just
Well, who's gonna stop him now, right? Like he's got blank check to do so much. I mean, what's gonna be another 10 lawsuits on his docket? Like that's nothing for him.
it came out on True Social. I don't know how long it was on both accounts or if it both came out together, but it was like at first it was running so fast. I didn't even believe it was real. I didn't believe it was real until like a billion and 0.25, maybe 2.5 is when I sent it to the girls. And I was like, okay, you guys, this is insane. I can't.
I'm glad you sent it.
You think this was Barron's brainchild? You think Barron thought this one up?
I think the weird part is because when you hear Trump talk, he is very like pro blue stock, chip stocks and like the American dollar. And he always talks about the gold under our feet. But you got to think like all his kids, including Tiffany, who's like a cyber lawyer, they all got to be into crypto. So they got to, I don't know, and Elon's there right now at the at Mar-a-Lago, and then they're all going to DC. And so then there's the crypto ball tonight. And so all these key players in Washington are all at this crypto ball. So in the crypto ball during it, the coin gets released while all these people are inside the ball in DC right now. It sounds so silly, but I'm like, there's a bull on top of a bull. There's like a bull on a treadmill running on another bull that's running. I'm like, what's about to happen?
He should like make coins for every one of his children. A Barron Trump coin, a Melania coin, a I don't know, Donald Trump Jr. coin,
Every
a junior
single one
coin.
of them coins. This is the other weird thing.
They're all
Every
pop-
single one of these coins exist, but it's like people have so many official Trump coins. There's Trump has been a meta for I don't even know how many years, and so all those coins are tumbling. Like it's like this coin is drinking all
everything.
The coins. It's really, I'm not even kidding when I say this. If you look at the charts of Ethereum and Bitcoin and Doge and all these big, huge cryptocurrencies, they are all taking a hit right now. Solana has its totally separate chart. The only other coin that's doing okay is XRP. It has a nice little check mark that it's trying to hold up. But every other coin is all sinking a little bit because everybody's moving money over to Solana. And so it has this, its chart doesn't make sense as far as the cryptos go. I don't know. Something weird's going on. We have 2 days. Today's the 17th that it was released, which, you know, there isn't any deltas on January 17th if you're a Q-tard. So boom.
It's also cool too that they're launching it now, which is the exact moment when the regular markets are all off. So it's almost showing how this is the antithesis for the traditional market, right? Because stocks are gone until Monday.
And it's super interesting if all of a sudden, let's say a big, huge play, there's a thing on Hackers, the movie, where it's like, control the Gibson, control the world. And I always felt that to be Wall Street. If they can make that number tumble, your apocalypse isn't now, unless that number is, it has to be the Depression. This is part of the story of Hollywood sign burns, towers fall. Like, this is all part of the same movie. It's a lot bigger than you think. It's not just been happening during Trump's presidency. It's like this whole buildup. So I got to think somewhere, if we're watching the cabal fall, or even if it's the fake cabal fall for the black pilled out there, and they just think it's the buildup of the New World Order, and it's not the New World Order, but the MAGA World Order, even for these people out there. The Wall Street has to fall, and all the internet that you know has to fail for you to get Skylink. Like, you have to have Starlink. That's the next step. So there has to be, you would think in the movie buildup, it would happen like maybe any moment. Like, I just feel like the power has to go out. They've been setting us up for solar flares and things like
The sun splitting open like an egg.
yeah. I just feel like it just seems like, okay, so that's it. Jimmy Carter's dead. The devil's dead. And we just move on with the dance party. Like, it just seems like that's simple. Just Mad Hillary gets to dance off into the sunset, or do we watch her come out in Diddy tapes? I don't know. It's just, we're in a very interesting time, that like Obama and Trump talking to each other.
Yeah, and how everybody is protesting, not my president, go suck a dick and eat my shit. Like, really? You're like, there's still people who are like protesting against this guy? Like, for what? For why?
I mean, there's some people that their entire political lives, like since they were in middle school or high school, this is all they've been hearing.
Crazy.
And there's a whole generation of kids coming up now that truly believe that the Antichrist, took over, or whatever the secular version of the Antichrist would be. I guess you just call him Trump. It's redundant.
Like, oh my God, they're going to take gay rights away. Sure. Oh, they're going to take women's rights away. Sure. Where? Half his fucking cabinet is women.
Yeah.
So I think this is interesting too. It makes me think for real that Greenland is this untapped wealth of oil. It makes me think Greenland is in Alaska, and it's just sitting there with tons of oil in it, because most of our petrol from 2023 and 2024 came from Canada. And who would even think Canada has tons of gas? But if they have pipelines and stuff, it's got to be similar to Alaska. And so I don't know. I just think it's super curious. Like, the plays for the gold under our feet. Is it oil? Is it petrol? Or is it water? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's gold when he says it, like actual, jewelry or whatever. Not like it would be pre-pressed jewelry. But I just think it feels like the craziest time. I cannot believe we're all alive right now. I have so much gratitude for it. It feels so fun and entertaining to watch.
Well, enjoy it while it lasts, because we got 2 days left.
I know. But even everyone's like, oh my gosh, the Hollywood fires, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, it all feels like a movie studio. Like, the whole thing. I know there's going to be so many deaths that come out of it. Real people die in false flags. Like, all them fires that are going to be lit up, like, that they're going to find proofs of that were being lit and like guided. And I think there's winds coming back this next week. And there's a cold snap coming. This is something that I'm like, what?
Chaney.
What?
They found petrified frogs, hundreds of them in the fucking fires. Petrified. Not burnt to ash, petrified.
I know. And so then you're wondering, like, petrified. But where Abbie lives, like that area, the beginning of next week, like that's what they're talking about for the presidency too. But they expect it to be 40 degrees colder than normal.
What the fuck? Why you gotta burst my
40
bubble? See, I don't like to watch
degrees.
the weather. I like to be like surprised, but
I never
I
even
don't
like
want
the
to be
whole
that surprised.
Midwest. 40 degrees. Like that's life-changing
Yeah,
weather.
it was 61 degrees here today. Like it was fucking beautiful. So I'm like, I don't want to think about it being that cold.
Yeah, it was nice here today too. It was beautiful, like 65. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
There
Like we
is a
had snow
list.
last week, but
I probably have it somewhere on my phone but there is a list of the cities. Oh, I do have it. I know exactly where to find it now. I'm like, where did I have that?
The arson comment makes me it's another of those reminders that these are the jobs that Americans don't want to do. That's why they're going to these illegal immigrants, like arson.
yeah.
That is true. Wait, it's not in that chat.
Have you ever watched A Day Without a Mexican, Thomas?
I'm in Florida, so we're surrounded by them. So no.
No, it's a mockumentary. It's called A Day Without a Mexican, and it's like it's Southern California, and all of a sudden, like all the Mexicans are raptured. So
We don't
they're
have a
all,
lot
like,
of
they're all
Mexicans
missing.
here. We have a lot of Haitians here instead of Mexican.
But
Okay.
it actually makes a good point for illegal immigration, is what it does, and how it actually benefits a lot of people. So, but it was really
This
good.
is one of my favorite retorts when it comes up on like a political angle for like the Democrat side. It's like, well, who's gonna plumb your toilet or who's gonna mow your lawn? It's sort of like you're telling on yourself. Like that shouldn't
Yeah.
be the main reason, is because cheap labor, but it is.
Wasn't that the
It is.
what was her name? Osborne, one of the, I guess the
Kelly
daughters.
Osbourne,
Yeah,
she said
she
something
went
like that. Yeah,
on the View. Was it?
she's like, well, who's gonna clean your toilet?
Donald Trump, and everyone's like, "Oh no!" She's like, "But I mean,"
She said the
like,
quiet part out loud. No.
I'm like, "Oh shit, career over."
Okay. So
Finish
New
it.
York City, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Chicago, San Jose, California, Austin, Boston, Charlotte, Columbus, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, Los Angeles, California, Boulder, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, Pittsburgh, and LaGrange, Georgia. Those are all the places right now that they're going to put up those 15-minute freedom cities. So I'm like, if anything is at what we've seen, they're gonna do some false flag shit and light that shit on fire because they want to buy it for cheap.
Great reset.
That's what they were trying to do. I don't know who put it tonight. It was so funny on somebody's thing, and it was like something about Build Back Better. I don't know. It's probably a meme I stole.
It does seem that the 15-minute city idea, it would be harder to get people to opt into it. It's one of those things that would have to be ushered in as the response to some great tragedy. That's usually how those sweeping programs happen.
So where like Joe Biden comes out and he says, we're going to pay for 100% of the rebuild of Southern California, but we're not going to tell you how we're going to pay for the 100%.
And you're never allowed to leave.
Yeah, and the federal government comes in. They're like, here's your keys, here's your whatever, here's your dorm room, and that's where you live now.
Well, California kind of does that at scale on their own now, because I can't remember if it was on this show or another show. Someone was mentioned they moved their business. They moved out of California to go to Texas or something, and there's some clause in California that says, well, you're going to keep paying us income tax for the next 4 years based on how much you were making in California. Even when you move out of the state, they still have their hooks in you a little bit, which feels like that's how a 15-minute city would work. It's like, oh, if you want to move out of the 15-minute city, now you got to keep sending your dues. It would be like you're in the mafia and you want to move to Cuba or like Florida. It's like, well, you're still going to be in the mafia and you still got to send us our tithe, right?
You're going to be in like the company store. I have to say, was Mel Gibson's rant racist or right?
Which one? The roadside one from the 2000s?
Yeah, like when he was drunk, how much, if you looked back at it now, is just WikiLeaks? Like everything he said is just like,
I've seen one of these like mini 15-minute cities. I forgot what state it was in. And they're all the same fucking houses, and they have their smart meters right in front of the house. But you know what they look like to me? How they look inside and how they're all set up? Mini prisons. Literally like fucking
Yeah.
mini prisons. Nothing extravagant about how they built them, nothing like smart about it, nothing cool or futuristic, just crap. Like crap fucking 15-minute cities, fucking 1,000 square feet fucking home. That is like a little jail. Fuck out of here. Not
It
with
just
it.
sounds like the beginning of every dystopian novel, or movie.
I don't like it at
I
all.
wrote a YA novel.
Well, it's dual purpose because the more you
I wanna read
make
it.
regular life suck, the easier it'll be to make the digital world better in comparison. Where you go in your little box, your little brutalist, square box. But if you put the headset on, if you put your new Meta 4 glasses on or whatever, now
Yeah.
you're not in the 15-minute city anymore. I just think it's way easier to get people to sell into that kind of escapism if you surround them in brutalism.
It's
Ready
really
Player One.
That's why
Yeah.
you see in architecture and everything that's happening here in the United States. It's just they're taking old architecture that's just so beautiful and just like just beauty. You need to see beauty in your life, but they're taking it all away, all gray and white and beige, and it's just like, what
Well,
are y'all
also
doing?
shipping container homes, tiny
Yeah.
homes. It's like part of the like throw all your stuff away that your family ever had. Who cares about that land? Move
Is
into
it
this
bringing you
15.
joy? No,
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
here.
Chuck it.
Joy,
Chuck
joy.
it. Marie Kondo and move out of your condo and into this evergreen shipping container. And then if you're in a shipping container living on land, you'll accept this maritime law. It's just like you'll have nothing and love it, right?
What if you follow that to its logical conclusion? Maybe we're all getting prepped to like be familiar with living in shipping containers, because maybe that really is the end plan. Like we are going to end up in literal shipping containers at one point, but we'll
What
just be
if
like, oh, this is just like my living room. This is fine.
What if with whatever's happening to the sun and it's cracking like an egg, and how in the book of Eli and everybody, like the sun falls down into earth and everything starts burning up? What if we're preparing for that and we don't even know it?
Okay,
Like
so you're
some
saying we need to
book of
buy
Eli
some
type
sun
shit.
coin now before it explodes.
You
What's
never
what's
know.
the sun coin at? Just
Crack sun.
Crack sun coin. No, that actually was a coin that ran. Whatever that was called, whatever that thing was called in the sun when it cracked across it. There was a coin that ran. That was that.
Of course there was.
Yeah, but then I remember when somebody said once, every single thing one day will be a coin. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. That's crazy. Like they're like, no, everything will be a coin one day. It'll just be everything will have a value and a weight and a thing. And it's just like so wild to think about. Like even if Thomas's glasses never make their own coin, somebody else will make that coin one day. It's just wild to think about. And then some people who are the biggest fans hold it forever. I love that Slimer, by the way, in the background.
Oh, he needs to go faster.
Oh my gosh, I thought he was completely
And yeah, me too.
Tupac hologram.
Yep.
Now I can interact with my holograms.
Your mind went there,
You're
didn't it?
badass.
It always does. Everything with anytime with hologram now, everything's because if that's what they showed us then, what are they up to now? So anything with plexiglass, I'm like, this hologram shit.
I should swap him out with a dildo just randomly one night and just see if anyone notices.
And just
Should.
let it spin.
I'll notice.
Abbie will notice right away.
Yeah.
It'll be a
like
flaccid one. It'll be like folded over.
it'll just be like
I'm gonna be mad at you if you do that.
It'll look like one of those guys in front of a used car place.
Let's create a
It'll just-
coin called Flaccid. Let's see how well that goes over. I bet it won't be very bullish.
It won't run hard.
No.
Oh my goodness. What else is going on in the world? We talked Red Note was brief. That's what else I had on my list to talk about. That
Right.
TikTok's canceled.
Yeah.
And so all the TikTok people are
Maybe it might be
downloading.
canceled. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe
This is
Sunday.
like a will they, won't they, like stupid sitcom romance drama right now with TikTok, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, are they
Well,
going away? Are they going to get together? Like, you got to
And
tune in on Sunday to find out.
well, here's the only
Trump's
thing
in the
that I agree with
is in
why
the state.
people are so angry. They're taking people's livelihoods away. Like, people are making so much money off of TikTok. If you're a content creator, you're making a lot of money off of that. So if they're taking that away from you, they're taking your lifestyle away from you. So I see where a lot of people are coming from. The big content creators, they became famous or whatever the niche is, whatever. But I get it. And it's just funny to me because, like, oh, China talk, China talk, China talk. But they literally are fighting. The people are like fighting against the government just by going to a fucking commie, a fucking commie app. It's mind blowing.
And I could be wrong. I did some research on so TikTok
It's not even
has
Chinese.
well, the company that made TikTok has a different algorithm than the TikTok China algorithm. It's completely different. So when people always compare it to the TikTok China algorithm, it's not the same at all. They're owned by two different companies. So part of the TikTok America, all that software now, and I could be wrong, but what I gather is it's maybe in Austin, but maybe it's an Israeli company. And TikTok China has nothing to do with it at all. They're two totally separate softwares. So when people argue that TikTok is actually like, it still sucks in all these other ways, just not the ways that people think that it sucks. And the algorithm is different than the Chinese TikTok algorithm.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the spy software that everybody thinks it is. It's different spy software.
I wonder how people's opinions would change if you were like, no, TikTok's not China intelligence, it's Mossad. Would you see some people be like, oh, well, now I'm against it. I wasn't before, but now I am.
Well, then what I Red Note, and if you go to any of your iPhones or your Google phones or whatever right now, the first app, the most downloaded and used app is a bunch of liberals and TikTok young kids that don't know about any of it. So now they're downloading this app, communist China app, onto their phones. Who knows what the contract is? Who knows what the things are yet? That, I mean, we're always signing away that stuff, but it's next level. Like, you have no, because it's a communist app in China, their government, all your stuff is their stuff. So people are signing on to this, which feels like the American people are just having psyops ran on them by different cabals.
Zionism. Oh, did you guys see the dancing Israelis in LA while they were watching LA burn? They're like dancing at the window and singing these Israeli songs and like dancing.
Maybe they just like to dance.
Nah, they're watching and recording fucking LA burning and they're fucking dancing, and it's titled The Dancing Israelis.
Do you think at all that's to bury the real dancing Israelis?
Yes.
So that when people try to, if I say, what about 9/11 though? It doesn't come up anymore. They just find LA fires.
This is Disney Frozen all over again.
Yeah, erasing the memory of what the dancing Israelis are. And this is not against Jewish people, because Jewish people in Brooklyn, they're anti-Zionist. Let me tell you, all these Hasidic, actual religious, Jewish believing Jewish people, they don't believe in having their own state, their own country. They know it. They're not supposed to have it. So shout out to you, beautiful Jewish people out there. Love you. But you Zionists, go suck a fat one, please.
You better not be
Shove it in
dancing.
every fucking hole that exists in your body, you scum of earth. Thank you very much. I feel so much better.
Abbie, how are you over there?
Oh, distracted. My kids just got back from a concert, so I'm like,
what concert?
Some country Trader Oaks or something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't give a fuck.
That's cute.
Yeah, not something I listen to.
Oh,
Trader Oaks.
that's cute.
Does that sound right?
I don't have a clue. I've never heard of that, but that doesn't mean anything.
I know.
I'm not the top of country music.
Neither am I.
Yeah. So big ups to them. You're like, I'm distracted because of my kids. So yeah. The fires check. I feel like what about the blue bus? Have you guys all seen that in the conspiracy realm? The blue Volkswagen.
Oh, the ones that didn't burn down in the
Yeah.
fires.
Well, I thought red roofs didn't burn this time too, or something.
I think this is the equivalent of you just do this and now you're in the Illuminati. It's all you got to do. It's like, oh, you just paint your house blue or you just paint your car blue and you're safe. I don't know. I think it's
Well, I think
silly.
it's kind of funny too because everyone's like, "Look at this blue BMW bug." What do you, or like in the way everybody posts on X now is they don't have an explanation behind anything. They just say, "What do you notice?" And then
Yeah.
I'm like, Volkswagen bus just drove into the scene." Like it literally looks like it drove in. Like it
Okay.
doesn't even look like it's from the area. It looks like somebody's like, let's get in the VW bus and take a drive around, see what it looks like.
How sick of a marketing campaign would that be, though? You wait for like a city to burn down, and then you just flood it with brand new VW like bus or something, like some new car that comes out, and then like VW posted online. What do you notice?
Yeah, that is a great marketing campaign where you make it look mildly conspiratorial. But isn't it kind of what Elon's doing where he's like, I'm going to send a whole bunch of Tesla trucks and Starlink into the area, or if you have a Tesla truck, just open your roof because the Wi-Fi will work for all the people to be able to pick up Wi-Fi. And so just drive your Tesla truck around the area.
Dude, is it true Starship actually exploded?
Yes.
It looked really pretty.
Jefferson?
That's wild.
That's what I thought too.
Starship, the largest ship that Elon
We built
spaceship
this city.
fucking Elon created.
We built this city. You know what? Starship sings the song for Mannequin.
Yeah.
That's always what I think of. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever.
Is there a song named Starship?
No, there's a band, but
Oh.
that used to be Jefferson Airplane. It's so weird. And I think before they're in between Jefferson Airplane and Starship, there was another band.
Yeah.
Jefferson Starship, I think. I don't know. I'm not that old. I just am a music nerd. But I do remember Mannequin and I do remember that song, but I don't know anything about like White Rabbit except for my little goth face.
Back to the mannequin.
Mannequin 1 or Mannequin 2?
Mannequin 1 all day. OG.
Really?
Because Hollywood is.
Well, he was in the second one too, though.
It's like he nails it in the first.
Which was the one that had the dude with the mole and the hair growing out of it? Was that 1 or was that 2? See, I'm 2 all day.
I'm Andrew McCarthy. I like and Kim Cattrall's in this first one. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer's in the second one. So, yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think so.
I love Buffy. I love that show. It was so good.
How much truth like that we're building up to this. And do you think is it comet, alien? Is the sun split open? Does Godzilla? Or is it just like, nope, your new president, he's just making a crypto coin and we're just, like, is there gonna be a grand finale to this thing? Or are you guys just like, oh, just another Saturday, early morning at 1:30?
Saturday. That's why a lot of QAnons got so upset and became doomers and blackpilled. It's like, oh, fuck Trump now. Oh my God, you guys are in a cult. You guys believe this. You're gonna the Trump cult. You're just like Chaney says. You guys are just heartbroken QAnons and get over it. Okay, all right, get over yourselves. Get over your fucking egos. Okay, and mine too. I should get over mine, but I'm just saying because things are going well. They're gonna be well. We're not gonna die. It's just a fucking reset, and that's it. We'll be all right.
Look at that, $14.53.
Damn.
My brother's
I still feel like it's early. I feel like if you're hearing about this coin right now, and even though it seems a crazy price, and even though that's the most outlandish thing to say, I think it would still be early on it.
It is early. The other side of the world's still not awake yet.
That is what I'm saying. I'm like, I am not into giving people, this is not a financial advice show, but I have never seen anything like this in my life.
Besides that one rug, but that was a test.
They wouldn't do that again. That was a one-time thing.
It wasn't
fucking
a Trump
ate my
coin.
wallet.
It wasn't a Trump coin. It was like just a whole random thing that Layla and I were just watching this chart. It was just like they turned on every FOMO bot in the world to just run this chart up to like $4 billion. It was wild.
Was this the gun?
No.
Whatever happened to the gun coin?
I don't know. I think I know some people that still hold a lot of gun, actually.
Induced AI, I fucking hate you. Induced.
But Elon changed the gun on X to a different gun. So it's actually a Glock. It's not our little shit emoji gun that we all have on our phone. Like if you use that emoji on X, it'll come up with the Glock.
The black gun.
Yeah. So
I want to know who was behind that. Who was the original catalyst to take away America's guns and replace them with squirt guns?
We lost our emoji Second Amendment. Like right away.
Wasn't it? I think it was like Steve Jobs or something. Like I think Apple at some point is the ones that's like, all right, we're taking away your guns, guys.
I know. Riggs is the people that hold a lot of gun named Chaney. No. I don't hold a lot of anything. I had to survive for a little while. I just had to pay bills for a little bit, but I did get a little of that Trump coin before we went on. I'm like, holy shit. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm like 3 times my money right now.
I'm so glad I went back into it. Like I went out because I'm like, this is fake. I can't believe Trump tweeted this out. Like it took me forever, even though I'm like, here's what he tweeted. And then it took me forever staring at this thing. And I was like, you guys, the contract address is on this picture. Like I put up the picture to talk shit about it, saying Trump didn't tweet out any fucking coin. He tweeted out a fucking picture of himself to go to a meme website. So if you want to download memes. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. And then somebody was like, somebody had to have hacked Trump's account and put this up. And they're like, if somebody's hacking the future president's account, we got bigger problems than a fake coin. And I'm like, fair enough. So yeah, this is not financial advice.
My brother bought in at 400 mil, I believe. Yeah, 400 mil. And everyone was like, nah, this is gonna rug. So he pulled out a 700 mil. And after that, boom, 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 3 bill. 5 bill, 7 bill. He's like, oh my God. He would have been up 16 times his money right now and probably would have had like $30,000 in his wallet by now.
Yeah, can't look back.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We're getting close. That's all.
I love
that's all
the
it
thing
means.
that I heard about anything really, whatever it is, whether you are, I only like currency, or I only like gold, or I only like silver, I only like whatever thing is your thing of that you diversify your assets. I like that you get in exactly when you deserve to get in.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is.
Yeah.
You get in when you're supposed to get in. Like somebody told you like about Bitcoin when it was like 10 cents.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Like it's so crazy. So
What is this?
I feel like there is so much Bitcoin in wallets that people are like, I had Bitcoin once on that computer and I haven't been able to get into that computer and I don't even know how long. And I don't know where even the written key would be if I don't even know.
I know.
I had a coworker, probably like 10 years ago now, but I had this coworker. It was when Bitcoin did one of its first big jumps and it like broke $1,000 or something. That was like a huge deal at that point. And he was refusing to leave this crappy apartment that he was kind of stuck in because he had written down his like Bitcoin information on like a piece of paper and he put it in a desk and he lost it. And he was like, if I move from my apartment, I'll never find that piece of paper. So he ended up staying in his apartment for like 2 or 3 extra years under the hope that one day it would just show up, and it never did. But this is an example. I think so many people have described this. Like I think a large portion of Bitcoin is just lost to time forever and ever.
Dude, I lost $100 like a month and a half ago, and I found it right after I moved. So I was like,
It
yes.
happens the other way too. That would be such a like. It does seem like so when you ask people if you could go to travel in time, knowing everything you know now, what would you do? And most people in their list of what they would do, buy Bitcoin.
Say
It's like so many people, even if they're not crypto people at all, they're not into it at all. It's like if you asked generations before us, they would have been like, I wish I would have invested in McDonald's. You know, it's like, I wish I had invested in Coca-Cola.
And then you sit on it for like 40 years for it to like blossom into something ridiculous. Or you just do it with Bitcoin and you wait like 10 years.
Well, there is a thing too with certain, but it's like people living off the interest of their money and letting a bank hold your money. And it's like, hey, I'm going to hold your money and loan all of your money out. But because I can do that, then I'll give you a percentage back on your money. And you're like, fair game. I'm never going to need all that money at one time. And that's kind of how it works. So if you do that with all your coins, you could just get money. You could just live off of it.
I hear all stories about Bitcoin. People say, like, I heard this thing is just gonna drop and everyone's gonna buy in and it's gonna go all the way up and it's gonna be like $1 million a share. I'm like, y'all, this is a fuck coin. There's like, you can't track anything on this. Like, there's no blockchain. There's like, it's not backed by anything, and they're trying to back it by gold, but like, you need to reach like the millions per Bitcoin for it to be backed by gold. Like, it's just not making sense to me. So I think it's gonna be bye-bye, bitch. Like, it's gonna go into the trash. But then I hear all these stories that it's not. And I'm like, I don't know. I've been pretty like, my gut has been telling me things and it's been pretty accurate with certain things. And Bitcoin is one of those for me. I don't think it's going to last very long. Maybe another 5 years. But then after that, bye. That's what I see.
If all of a sudden there's plays like this where the meta can be so controlled, even by a US president that's about to come in and they can do this in a couple of hours, and you can look at every single other coin is falling off literally in real time. The whole monster of Bitcoin is falling off right now and struggling to keep up with what Solana is doing because of this one coin. It's really blowing my mind. It is such a power play. Imagine for real, if you're BlackRock right now and you thought you were going to pull all your money fucking higher, fill in something right now, and you're like, you're BlackRock Vanguard and you're making this Bitcoin play, and all of a sudden this little silly Solana's messing with your like pool and volume and wicks. Like, it's such a power move, so much above our head. But it's like, if you could jump on or if you notice the trend. But I feel like there's somewhere, this is such corporate, like it's such a middle finger somewhere to, it's wild. I never seen anything like this.
I got some doomer talk.
Let's
a little
doomer.
bit here, just because
Black
a
pill.
little doomer talk. Because
I wish I had a
don't
flaccid
think
dick
that
I could hit myself
the-
with. Like,
Should I bring mine? Let me stop.
black pill.
the world hasn't seen like a serious 51
Abbie drags out her
attack,
clawfoot
right?
tub.
Just
kidding.
We haven't seen a massive crypto market like infiltration or like China hacks Solana or whatever the thing is, and it seems like that is a natural thing that's going to happen at some point. Some criminal organization or state agency is going to pool all their resources to tank one of these things at some point. Like, it has to happen at least once to one of the coins. It might not be Bitcoin, it might not be Trump coin or Solana, but it's going to happen to shake everyone's confidence. That's kind of the only way that the CBDC is really going to get any traction is by saying, oh, you don't want that to happen to you, so come into the fold over here.
If quantum computing is real, and people theorize that it really is, then wouldn't that be able to hack any of the coins?
Right, because right now the argument that usually comes up, it's like, oh, you would have to run this software for 70,000 years in order to break it. Well, yeah, I mean, but also look at the difference between, you know, a rocket ship technology and the phone that's in your pocket right now over the span of like 50 years.
I'm so glad you said rocket ship technology, and I totally want to doomer talk more. Yeah, that really was a starship that blew up, but I also think because Layla said that earlier, the starship, and then we started singing Jefferson Starship and never talked about the actual starship that blew up.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
But it made me remember it right now when you were talking about that. That dude, it could just be a whole bunch of alien ships landing, and they're like, "Look at Starship blew up."
Yeah,
Like it was just a really weird. Someone was telling me that it was a planned explosion.
I
And that's
think
how they
so. Because there was so much
explode it.
hype about it. Like, oh, the largest ship ever built. And wait till it launches. Wait till it launches. And it launched. And a couple any tragic deaths? Anyone on the ship? Was there a monkey on board?
No, not that I
No.
know of. I didn't look too much into it. It really did look beautiful.
Mm-hmm. How it blew up, yeah.
Yeah, it did. It looks so pretty. I know I shouldn't.
Better than the Challenger?
I know. Oh. That's one of my oldest memories. Standing on a hard court watching the Challenger explode. Like I was at school. I was in elementary school. I was like a little kid. And yeah.
It's kind of crazy how it blew up and was like flying in a straight line like that. All those parts just like zzz. That kind of looked like it was like operated and controlled. Let's hit a destination kind of feel. Like instead of like dropping, it was like going in at something.
I talked to somebody that worked for NASA. He was a rocket engineer, and he, I was like, so you think we went to the moon, and you think, and I was just trying to conspiracy talk him. And he's like, I will tell you, I believe a lot of the rockets are going to different destinations. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I mean, we could shoot a rocket anywhere on the world to anywhere. And so it's like, oh, we're shooting this to
outer space,
or a sky floating station. But what about if I really just want to drop off a whole bunch of cocaine in India? Like,
that's
especially if they
can
catch these like things, if you can shoot a rocket, like he's talking about flying to Mars. And I'm like, and we still get on these like airplanes.
Yeah, my ass.
Like something feels like it's missing in the technology. Like there seems like there's like a gap. Like you're talking about flying us to another planet, but still here. Airplanes? This is what we're working with?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I watch the wings shake. Every time I'm on an airplane, I'm like, I can't even believe this whole thing gets up in the air.
Sure, Jan.
And then I'm like, change your mindset. You have to believe or it's going to fall out of the sky.
Yes. Like very.
You gotta start clapping, otherwise, yeah, Tinkerbell dies.
I agree with you though, Thomas. I think there has to be some kind of rug pull in digital currency, like somewhere, even with the Hawk Tuah girl, like that was a small scale. Does it make it so? Like somewhere, I feel like they meddle with things so they can regulate things.
But I mean, beyond a scam, beyond a rug pull, I mean an actual like, oh my God, we've been compromised. The hackers have broken in, and because of this, now we're gonna have to institute some new protections for your own good. But I feel like that, like the fact that that has not happened yet means that it has to happen at some point.
It'll be a TSA.
What about if the creator of Bitcoin, like the main wallet where everyone's like Satoshi and blah, blah, blah. What about if it was Trump? Like nobody knows who's holding the wallet. It'd have to be an old motherfucker. It'd have to be something that had a certain amount of finances at a time. And they'd also have to have a certain type of technology. And so it seems just like, I don't know, like Tesla tech. I don't know. Like nobody knows who has that wallet, and everybody just assumes a thing, like a whole story becomes created about it. It's almost a myth. Like everybody's just buying into the legend.
I heard Putin owns it. That guy, that big guy who talks shit all the time. You fucking assholes. Da, 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 ba, da, da, da. You know that guy that's a Wall Street fucking tycoon? I forgot his name, man. He fucking yells and curses
Where he's like,
me all the time.
booyah!
Kind of. He's like, you fucking idiots. Stop talking to you people on the internet. You poor motherfuckers. You know, that guy.
I don't know.
I forgot his name. But apparently he's like,
This
I
sounds like
know
a
who has
fetish when he
Bitcoin.
spits on
I
you.
know
I don't
who's the
know.
owner. It's fucking Putin. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense too.
But then I think it's also funny how there is cabals behind each of these coins. And so they know friends and stuff at media, and they try to put out bad information on these big coins. Like it could be the Dodge whole crew that could put out information that BlackRock's selling Bitcoin. Like this is like levels to it would be some kind of espionage. But now you don't have to come into my company and do anything. It's just like this
Yes.
whole online world.
Speaking of Doge and the Doginal boys or the Doginal bitches, if y'all still like in the monkeypox with the Doginal boys, y'all are fucking retarded. I'm just saying. If you're following men who carry merces and who keep stealing and rugging over and over and over and over again, and you keep saying "fuck me harder, daddy," good for you.
Can we talk about the fact that we fucking talked about Merkins on this on a Sunday night episode, and then right after that, Elon tweets like, "What's a Merkin?" Like he had freaking asked AI or Googled it or something.
Now that I shouted them out,
It sounds like a gay male mermaid.
American. Yeah, it does.
Because we were talking about Birkin bags or the working bag or whatever, and then Chaney's like, "What if we had a Merkin bag?" And I was like, "What the fuck's a Merkin?" And then all of a sudden, so we got into that whole conversation. Then all of a sudden, like Elon's tweeting about it the next day.
A pussy wig.
Is there a Mercoin?
Merkin coin, maybe.
I think there is. After Elon, if Elon ever tweeted it, there's a coin about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like immediately, no matter what he
Everything's a
tweets,
meta.
no matter what it is, it will be a thing. Like those naked girls that you have having sex with the Statue of Liberty and stuff with not flaccid presidents' penises.
I would never do anything like that. That's
Those could be
disgusting.
NFTs.
Yeah.
And they could be their whole
Sounds
like it's like
Honestly-
everything is a thing. Like people want it as their picture and they don't want it as their like I could say this too. This is where I'm like, just go online and take the image and make whatever image you want. But that's not my NFT. It's not real if it's not real.
Thomas, you need to become a creator of an NFT. Like you have the talent, you have the knowledge.
I put out NFTs in 2019 and I actually did fairly well from all of
Don't
those.
you have like a Bigfoot thing that you have, like a Bigfoot project?
No, I don't have one of those ones where it generates a bunch of random ones, but right when NFTs were before people knew about it, when it was still ground floor, I put out a series of MK Ultra. It basically had court footage of like Alicia Owens and Paul Bonacci, like the OG Project Monarch Franklin scandal, and I took the court footage and I spliced it with just like some digital effects, and I released those as NFTs along with some of my original comic book drawings and sketches. But I mean, this is like 5-6 years ago now.
I think you should do it again. Come up with an idea.
I'll see if I can find one. I'll see if I can find one. I'll send
Do
it to
it.
you guys.
And if anybody's looking for an artist or I don't know if he's booked or not, but like he used to be an animator for Disney. He creates comic content, trading card content, actual action figures.
This
just-
is yeah.
Hit him up. Hit
And
my boy
I feel
up.
like it's a whole perfect. Pink.
Here's one of them. And this is just some random one that I just typed paranoid American NFT, and this came up as someone's on OpenSea, and I can't remember how many of these they minted. I think it was like 500 or something. It was for a much bigger project called Collective. And this was one of them called Sabbatic Goat, and it's basically the statue of George Washington in the Smithsonian in like that Baphomet pose. and then it's got the little Ethereum crystal that's like spinning out in front of him with bullet shells falling down onto his lap.
Nice for the Ethereum crypto exchange. That's dope, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I think
you have the
that
talent.
what is that Washington statue? There is the Washington in general, George Washington, what is it, the hypothesis of Washington, the roof of the memorial, all that stuff is the craziest, like, conspiratorial stuff. Like, Washington specifically has some very interesting art about him in DC. And then Washington, District of Columbia. So it's just somewhere Washington and Columbia, Columbus, or whatever that word is, that spell. It feels like neither of them feel like the real history of the dude. Like, it both feels fake. Seems like there's something more to it. I don't know.
Oh, here we go. I found a better
Okay.
link. It shows some of my OG collection, and these were some of the first AI generated NFTs that I was even aware of. I created a model based on a bunch of 60s and 70s album artwork, and then that second one up there. See the one on the far right? That's one of the MK Ultra ones that I was talking about. That's got the clip, and I spliced it with a clip from the Metropolis
I love the
movie.
Richard
But it's
Nixon
Alicia
Loves You.
Owens, Paul Bonacci, and Metropolis.
These are cute. I like the Richard Nixon Loves You. Oh, this is from a comic. Yeah. NASAcomic.com. That's not.
See, I was ahead of the curve for a slight moment in time. I think I got like 70 ETH total out of all of that.
That ain't bad, especially if you would have saved
I
it
mean,
all.
I don't still
Yeah,
have
if you
it.
would have saved
I got like maybe 7 of
ETH,
them.
I mean, it's its own thing.
I think Ether was maybe like $40 at the time when all this was happening. So having 70 wasn't a huge deal.
Well, so much of the crypto just goes up. Like these big coins, they all seem to, regardless, just go up.
Well, they're doing their job, right? Because it's supposed to be, in theory, anti-inflation, like inflation, right? It's not supposed to inflate the same way that other markets do. So the more that you see real, quote unquote, real currencies inflate, then these go up just because they are not. They're not doing that same thing. They're not getting diluted the same way that all the fiat currencies are. So it looks like they're going up, but really they're just kind of keeping pace, and it's people buying into it because they've got less confidence than ever in any sort of government-backed currency.
It's 4 p.m. in China and Australia and everything right now. So big up to all of our Australian fans if you're watching. Hit the thumbs up.
What part of the world wakes up at 3 a.m. Eastern time when the fucking charts usually go up while everyone's sleeping?
Probably like parts of Russia and Dagestan, like some of the stands through there.
Yeah, that's what I see. That's when I see it all fucking going up. I've stayed up one night babysitting a coin. The one time I wanted to babysit a coin, nothing went up. I'm like, okay, fuck you. I'm not doing this again. I stayed up all night like a retard waiting for the coin to pop.
I don't know. It just feels like whether if it's singularity, if it's the Mashiach coming back, if it's aliens, if it's whatever, it just feels like we're just coming to a head. Like something, it just feels crazy. Like the energy feels crazy. And then how much energy is being used for all this. And if the power goes out, think about not just, I always thought about stocks before, like think of the power going out and the stock market crashing, why nobody can do anything about it. You know, it would be like a big GameStop. Because that's what they did to everybody with Robinhood is they were just like, yep, we're robbing you. All right. We're going to turn off all your accounts. And then it's like everybody couldn't play it through. And so somewhere I just feel like the power going out, it just feels like a big GameStop. Like they'll just freeze everybody else and you'll be like, what is happening? I can't even look at any of it.
Isn't there a way that you can connect make your own Wi-Fi connection without actually being connected to the internet?
Yeah, there's mesh networks that people put together.
There's like
So if you and all your homies have like a compound, or you're living in a remote area, you can put up your own version of internet that doesn't have to rely on any external service. As long as you've got power going to it, then you've got your own version of the internet.
I want to build one just in case. You never know. Is it expensive? I wonder.
I mean, it depends on how nice you want it to be. Usually the ones that people end up putting together, they equate to like old school pagers. That's about the fidelity, is that you can like send text messages back and forth, but to the point where you're live streaming video or like doing anything real time, a lot of those mesh networks aren't necessarily set up for that yet.
That's terrible. So if I wanted to like swap, if I like see a coin go up and everyone's in blackout mode, I couldn't swap coin. If I
Well, no, because the coin would have to be hosted on your mesh network as well, so it would only have limited value within the area. But see, the big idea is that at some point, if enough people put together mesh networks, there could be its own internet, to where like the mesh network in Florida connects to one in California, connects to one in China. Now you've got a whole different version of the internet, but it's all being run outside of the traditional like underground sea cables.
heard.
I keep looking at Starlink. Like I'm like, I hate Comcast with a passion. And it's like anytime I have to talk to them, I keep looking at Starlink and I'm like, is it fast enough to do this show? And I keep watching Elon play, all his games, which I saw somebody in chat say that like, you guys can tell me more about it again and I'll put it up, but like Elon's top 100 in the world or something. But it's like people surround themselves with the people that are this good at this game usually live in this game. They play it all the time.
Oh, the Pillars of Eternity?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you know what it is.
Is that what you're talking about?
Probably. Whatever game Elon plays that he was streaming to show everybody how good Starlink worked. And so it made me like, okay, if it can play that video game, it could probably stream this podcast.
It's a little bit bullshit about how much he harps on how like workers in this country, they're not as good, and that's why we need the H-1B visa program. That's how he got here. But literally all he does all day is post memes and plays video games. This is like the worst worker you could ever have on your team, right? Would be like an Elon.
Wow. To live a life just doing that and make money. That's crazy.
And technology.
Exile, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what do I know?
I think I'm gonna start playing video games again and start fucking streaming that. Call of Duty. I love that game. I used to fucking be rad on that shit. I think I'm gonna do it. If that's the future, let's do it.
I talked to a buddy of mine who was in a Tesla truck on his way to DC, and I was like, okay, well, I'll let you go, because he was like, oh, the traffic's getting bad. And I was like,
Power Wheels.
Oh, okay, I'll let you go. And he's like, oh, I'm not driving, but I was like, oh, well, you should, play a game, or you should do this or whatever. And he's like, oh no, the car won't let you that long. Like, it doesn't like when you're playing on your phone.
Also, he realized too late it was bringing him to DC, New Mexico, and he was like, "Uh-oh,
Dude. But I know, but apparently people have figured out with some of the driving Tesla models that they don't have certain updates on, is that they can put a bag of rice on the steering wheel and then the car will drive itself, because the Tesla will tell you like touch the wheel.
That's what my car does. If you're
Yeah,
not
my
touching
Honda
the
does
wheel,
that same thing. And all you got to do is just make it so that it has some kind of resistance every once in a while. And it
Yeah.
can technically drive itself for quite a while, especially in Florida, where there's not major like turns or twists or ups and
Oklahoma
downs.
too. Yeah, I love it. I love that in my Honda.
honestly, it is such a sight to see when I go and buy my Starbucks espresso, the fucking Tesla charging station, and seeing all the Teslas there waiting like fucktards to charge their adult Power Wheels,
But
like
even better
fucking idiots.
is when you see someone will come through and they'll sever all of the charging cables just to get like $70 worth of copper from each one. With the amount of money and time it takes to repair those, and now people can't drive their car because there's no other alternative.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't even think about this. So let's say your whole town's on fire. And then you have to, like, you can only drive so far until you can charge. And then you're like, welp, now all of LA, let's say, is trying to get out. Everybody's going to be trying to hit the same charging stations. What a nightmare. If you have never lived in an emergency situation and had martial law of some sort put down on you, it's already bad enough with gas. I cannot imagine also having to plug in and now wait 45 minutes.
Tesla owners are PTSD children who wanted a Power Wheels and couldn't have one. So they got one now. Enjoy your Power Wheels.
I am curious about the Tesla truck. Like, I want a spaceship. I will always have an
ugly as
old,
fuck.
I will always have a muscle, like an old car, like one that will, if there's a solar burst of whatever name they want to call it, I will always have a car that will be fine. And then I'll have another one that I want to be a little modern and comfy and drive me. I want something a little rugged and a little nails.
Bronco.
White Bronco?
No, probably like a periwinkle lavendery with like gold chrome. Instead of silver chrome, I want gold chrome. Cutesy. Demure.
Gold chrome. Something demure. You wouldn't see it coming with like 25s on it, gold rims. It looks like the color of Layla's background.
Some rubies and emeralds on there too. Why not?
I like old American muscle cars. I always
Isn't a
have.
Bronco
Even before I knew I
American?
was a little patriot.
Is Bronco American?
Yeah.
Hey, you see?
Like a good old, yeah, I like a 72 Chevy. I like Barracudas. I like Impalas. I even like the 80s style. If it was an old cop car in a movie, like from the 70s or 80s, I dig that car probably. I like those old long riders.
My first car was a 67 Impala.
I love that shit. I love it.
Oh, it was a nightmare to bring through a drive-through.
Oh man, yeah, that's what I almost died in. Was the '67 Impala when my friend freaking drove off into the canal and we miraculously
What's
lived.
the problem with driving them through the drive-through? I don't know.
They were made when roads were way bigger, and then compact cars come out, but the rest of the world stopped catering to these huge boats on the road. So there was a very slight margin of error. If you didn't turn at the exact right moment, you're scraping the side of your car and all the ballast, and it just
like the long cars
in a lot of places.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
I assume it's probably similar with like a Cybertruck. There's got to be people that are fucking their Cybertrucks up going through like McDonald's drive-through or something.
I know, the Cybertruck's so wild. I don't know. It's a whole entire wild world. I can't even, even everything we talked about, it seems like for the past, it's been a decade easy now that most people that have been on microphone have been doing it. Like, it is so crazy to me how all the stuff we talked about, lost accounts about, is just now the main talking points of everything. It makes my head explode. Like, what reality is this?
Back to life.
Oh no. It's like every single person that exists here, it's like a bunch of millions of billions realities all into one. It's like a Sims game, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like a Sims game that I'm having this experience. Am I choosing what I'm saying? Are my thoughts mine? Am I saying what I'm supposed to say, or is somebody choosing what I'm supposed to say? Like, I don't know. I don't know. This world is weird, but the best is yet to come.
Did you ever do this to your Sims?
Yeah.
All the things to my Sims.
Yeah. I sometimes I let it get like
Is that the exorcism?
Bummy. Sometimes,
Where
I'll
you're
have
just like,
different
I'm done
versions.
with this sim. I hope they light
Yeah.
on fire inside
I
this
hope they
room and you
die.
lock them inside a room
Yeah.
and you have a funeral for them.
Mm-hmm. Like I'll
My
let.
my girlfriend scared me playing Sims. Like I just sat and watched her play
Why?
it one day, and her entire mentality for playing this game was to go and like lure married men out of their houses and have them move into like her house, and then she would like kill them and just repeat the process over and over again.
That is so dope.
That is so funny. Like she just is like, no, I make them fall in love with me. It takes a couple visits.
Right.
Like, but
And then I kill
eventually,
them, and then I move on to the neighbor.
But when they get a divorce, they take half their money from their house, they move into my house, and then I kill them. So I have half their money.
I
Does
mean, people
she-
are creating like all kinds of fucking worlds. I mean, like from like monarchies to like the crazy cat lady to fairy world. Like it is getting so creative on there. Even Avatar Land, like avatars. I'm just like, this is bizarre. And it's reminding me of actual reality. When you actually play and start to observe it as like, oh my God, this is what we do. This is like when you put attention to the character, like they become alive. So it's like whatever. I don't know. It's too deep. It's too deep. It blows my mind.
You're like, never mind. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it anymore.
Whatever. We
My
live in a
mind's blown.
simulation.
It's a weird concept though, where people will literally call out of work to go to work in the Sims, or like neglect, cleaning up their kitchen, but then clean up the kitchen in the Sims. It's such a weird concept.
Oh my God. It's so
It
much
really
fun
is.
though.
It is kind of a weird, like every single thing in the video games of like Fallout and making friends in certain towns and building relationships and doing these kind of things. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been playing this game for 8 hours. Like it's just like lost, like totally in flow state in this game where the time doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
I did get lost recently. I haven't played video games in forever. It feels like 5 or 6
Zombies.
years, but I
Always.
finally got around and I played the Cyberpunk game, the one that had like Keanu Reeves in it, and then it's got like all this, and it wasn't bad, but that exact same thing would happen where I would like fire it up and then look down at the clock and like 8 hours had gone by, and it's like, but I still have something to do. I've still got to finish this.
That happens with me with zombies. When I used to play zombies on fucking Call of Duty. The most addicting shit ever. And then you realize, like, holy shit, I've been playing for this long, and then you get swollen thumbs. I'm like,
That was World of Warcraft
Yeesh,
back in the
Layla.
day. It was like, it
Damn.
was so freaking addicting.
Mhm.
And you'd sit there and just play with your friends for hours. Like, realize
No
I'm not
regrets.
addicted today.
I don't regret it at all.
In a way, is crypto that now with money? And then you see these games like, pick any hot game that was like all the Twitch raver that all the kids were playing, even the ones they got for free. What was that game they were all playing during Fortnite?
Yeah.
And then everything about those things becomes like they start paying for clothes and paying for guns and
Skins.
paying for new skins. And then there starts to be like offshoots of these things where the kids can gamble these skins and lose these skins. And then it becomes like a whole addictive. And this isn't just that game. There's like so many games that represent this. And they're all digital currencies. And they're like getting addicted to this kind of thing inside the games, where they're actually spending their parents' real money on the currency inside the game, but it actually is valuable currency inside the game.
Yeah. My son had one of the original Fortnite skins and freaking sold it for quite a bit of the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's like an
currency.
NFT. But
Yeah.
do you know what I recently like went into this weekend? My sister like calls me into the room. She's like, Layla, come here. I'm like, yeah, whatever. My brother's like, come into the room. You need to check this out. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? So I go there and I see my sister has the Oculus on. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Layla, put this on right now. I'm like, is this some kind of zombie shit? She's like, no, put it on. So I put it on. All of a sudden, I'm at a live fucking DJ Tiesto concert live at the fucking Sphere in Las Vegas, and I'm at every angle that you want to be in. So if I want to be at the top I could put myself in the top. If I want to be standing in front of Tiesto, they had a camera right in front of Tiesto, and he's staring at you in the eyes, and you can have this whole full-on, actual, real concert experience live with the fucking Oculus. I
That's
was blown away because I felt like I was literally in the fucking rave.
my
I'm
son
gonna take
makes
this
a
off.
lot of money, like making maps for the Oculus.
Wild.
Like he does these little. I mean, he's cashed out several times, like $800 a few times, just making these maps that everyone keeps downloading
Yeah.
for the Oculus.
Yeah. I mean, men are like actually buying poles and wearing this whole body sensor for the Oculus and becoming actual fucking strippers without taking their clothes off, but as
Just
females.
Ready
And they're
Player
making
One.
so much money.
Just like Ready Player
Like
One.
these booty popping men. Doing
It is
splits
so
on a pole.
wild.
Would that count as gay, or is there a pass there?
I think they're secretly gay, and it's okay if you are. It's whatever. But like,
Like if you find out that the girl you've been simping on in Oculus World for the last year is actually a dude, if you stop as soon as you find out, does that absolve you, or are you like retroactively gay now from like the year of exposure?
You're absolved.
You're absolved.
Yeah.
You're gay. You're gay.
I think you're absolved.
If you didn't know, you didn't know. So yeah,
Yeah, if you got
What if you keep doing
catfished.
it? You do it
got
one more
catfished.
day. Now,
Yeah,
now does the absolution go away?
Yeah, it's just like
it.
the catfish of it, though. It's like the exact same thing as any catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his mind is constantly going to be like, man, but that's the best time I ever had in my life. That's the best feeling I ever had in my life.
But he knows it's
Maybe
fake, and
that's
he
the
knows
way.
it wasn't
Oh,
like.
wasn't
Do
there a
they?
Black Mirror episode about this? I
Yeah,
think
with
there
two
was.
best friends who were like, they were inside a war game, and then they like hooked. One of them was like a lady, and they had sex, and then they
It was
fell
like
in
Mortal
love with each
Kombat,
other.
but then yeah, one of them like jumps on the other one and they start kissing, and it's
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Got to plant the mustard seed. That's all, right?
I don't know, but then it would have to be like where whatever the sensory is of in the game becomes better than whatever the sensory is in real life. Eventually, like you might just fall in love with them at first.
God, I hope they don't turn to like putting headsets on and like simulating an orgasm for everybody and no more kissing and touching.
That's already happening right now.
Demolition Man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I don't want that to happen. It's not.
But how is that not already happening?
It
Yeah,
is
it's
happening, but I don't want
right
it
now.
to happen. Like, it's sad. It's really sad.
It's so wild. But
It's
for
part of
some
their-
people, they're like so scared of quote unquote getting sick. And so they go and they jibby jab themselves up with so many things that eventually it will be disgusting for them to even think about touching another human being, regardless of their gender.
Yeah, and it's good. It's coming to a point where like these women who got the prick from the prick, they're what is the sac? What is it called? Not the uterus, the placenta.
Balls?
The
Oh.
placenta. I love balls. But the placenta is actually attacking the fetus. So usually what happens in a normal miscarriage, like when the fetus like no longer can grow or whatever, like the placenta will slowly like shrivel up around the fetus. But in this case, what they're finding out is the placenta is actually attacking the fetus and closing up on the fetus and actually killing the babies inside of the women. This
I
is
know
what's
someone
happening.
for real that they have to take anti-organ medication because their body is attacking itself. Like they have an autoimmune disorder that cannot be explained by doctors. They can only use 50% of their lungs right now. It's like
Super cancers, they're calling it now.
yeah, they can't figure out what's going on, but I know what's going on.
And they still don't see it. How do people not see
I know
it?
a lot of people that they're like, they're like, all right, I'll listen to anything you have to say. And I'm like, everybody I know in the conspiracy realm, like everybody's trying to figure out detoxes for you guys. Like everybody I know was trying. Like there's all different kinds of herbs and Reiki and things and prayer. But I think even big medicine's trying to undo what was done.
My childhood best friend, I just talked to her today, and she was telling me about one of her family members who's super sick, and I was gonna be like, "Oh, she got vaxxed," and I was like, but I already knew because
Don't say it.
oh, whoops, sorry.
It's
But when the
okay.
first one came out, I went on a girls' trip with her to Tennessee, and she was telling people in line at Dollywood that I didn't get that, and that I was like, she couldn't believe. Like, I was like, "Why are you telling people my business? Like, that's my choice, and I would never do that. So the fact that you're doing it, like, that's your choice, and I'm not gonna freaking tell you otherwise." But she was literally telling everybody that I didn't get it. But I'm like, and here your
Isn't that
family's all
a
getting sick.
isn't that a violation of your HIPAA, like
If she was in the
whatever,
medical
whatever?
industry, yeah, but she's just my
No,
friend,
isn't
so
that
she
in
thinks she could just
general?
tell everybody. No, HIPAA's just if you're a medical worker.
I thought HIPAA is like to protect you from like anyone knowing, like you don't have to tell anyone your medical history, like anybody. I thought
Right.
that's what it was.
But it's more like in a doctor's office, so like a doctor can't discuss anything about
Uh-huh. Okay.
you with anyone else.
Okay.
It's
Patient
like your psychologist isn't
confidentiality.
allowed to tell people what you say to them, but if you tell your friend what you said to your psychologist, your friend can tell anyone that they want. There's
Yeah,
no
your friend can
rules
Uh-huh.
tell
against that.
whoever. And so it's
I
like
can't
that's what
sue.
she was doing. And so I was like gonna ask her today. I was like, "Oh, did they?" And I was like, "Never mind. I know for a fact they did."
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I love what's going on. Love it.
I don't know. Are
Everyone's
we
so
going?
worried, bro. Like,
I'm
why are you
not.
guys feeding into that? Like, not
I'm
us.
enjoying the show. I
Yeah.
am enjoying the show. If you would have told me how long this show is going to be, I don't know if I would have been here for every episode. Like if you would have told me at the beginning of Game of Thrones, like, girl, this is going to take a decade, I would have been like, I don't know if I'm going to get down with this show. That's how I feel with this whole thing. But I'm like, damn, this feels so wild. Like that's where I do feel like Dick Gregory. Like once you put the magic glasses on, you can never take them off. And there's a part of it that I wonder sometimes what it's like for normal people. Like they're just like, well, like what would they do even with that little bit of information? Jennifer Aniston and Obama are hooking up. Like, let's say that's real. Like, or that's the next wave of like what we'll take on. But it just, and then this was another question that I had. Could Obama run for governor of California?
Oh God. Probably. Maybe.
And doesn't Jennifer Aniston, like she's Greek. Her dad's John Aniston from Days of Our Lives. And so
She's
Days of Our
Greek?
Lives. Yeah. And so her dad, she's like kind of a Hollywood legacy family with soap operas a little bit. And so
Before or after the nose job is she Greek? Because I don't think she's Greek. I heard this other story about her, like the true story about her.
What?
That she's a you know, a Zionist. Like part of that whole
Well, I mean, her dad's John Aniston.
I
And I
like
think,
how YouTube can't hear you if you whisper.
I know.
that whole realm.
We
Yeah.
found the way to circumnavigate the algorithm. You just
Put it in your mouth and say it.
Whisper it, they won't hear you.
you don't know what I'm saying right now. You can't see.
Read my lips, motherfucker.
I love you, man.
Oh my gosh. It just seems like another. It's just curious to me, where in the fuck is Michelle Obama? And for the George Soros, like Huma Abedin's man, George Soros' son, is the one who accepts that award. So it's just like, where is Michelle Obama?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I know. I think where in the world is Michelle Obama is a great meme. Somebody out there, some meme magician. Thomas, merch. One day I want to be that kind of organized, you guys, where I'm like, oh, that's going to be on the website tomorrow.
Wasn't Ellen DeGeneres called back to the United States, or was it she like picked up by the wherever she is right now and sent here to the United States for the P. Diddy trials? And Stephen Colbert says that he's not going to be here anymore once Donald Trump becomes president.
And today was Michelle Obama's birthday.
What?
Yeah, today was Michelle. That's why I saw Obama tweet out a thing with Michelle sitting across the table from him, and they're like holding hands across this table, and he's like, I want to wish a happy birthday to my wife Michelle, blah blah blah. And then somebody, I thought it was the most clever one that I saw, is they took a picture of Michelle close up and they said, why is her plate empty? I thought you guys had a chef.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So
mysteriously drowned.
It's the word on the street. And people are like, oh, she's disgusted by Trump. Like, I'm like, oh.
I'm disgusted by people who just dislike him at this point. Okay, like, get past it all. He's a cool guy. Like, he's doing great things for this country, I believe. As long as this country is okay, that's all I worry about. Do I care about the rest of the world? Honestly, go fuck yourselves. I live in America, buddy.
I do think Jake Paul, we see him fight Mike Tyson on Netflix. And then we see Netflix with Monday Night Raw. And who's the star of Monday Night Raw right now? Logan Paul. And so then there's all this talk of Logan Paul, Conor McGregor, Logan Paul, Conor McGregor. I just think the UFC is going to end up on Netflix. I'm just predicting that now.
Probably.
Like, we're just watching, like, the Paul brothers are leading into live sports on Netflix. And it's like an alternative live sports. They don't want the expensive American sports like football. They're doing something different.
You know, did you see the video of Tim Pool that's been circulating recently?
How the one where he's wearing the beanie?
Well, apparently, his team member, his co-host, went on this rant about Israel, and Tim Pool's like, "Be careful, man. Be careful with, you know." And his friend starts going on and on and on about like what happened when Israel bombed the ship during
the USS Lincoln.
Yes, that. So he brought that up, and you know, he's like, "Be careful what you say, man." And he's going on and on and on, and he's like, you know, maybe all these missiles that are happening, and these, you know, they're saying these people are doing it, these people are doing it. What if it's Israel? And he's like, doesn't matter where it comes from. And his teammate just looks at him like with a sus face. He's like, "Are you a fucking psyop Israeli agent, motherfucker?" He gave him that look. He's like, "Yo, who am I partners with right now? Like, how are you like?" It was chef's kiss. He's a fucking agent, 100%, and he has a huge following.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, people should not be
USS
listening.
Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty.
Thank you.
People should not be listening to Tim Pool, like, at all. For American freedom, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Don't do it, Tim Pool. Congress, all dual citizenships, and they would put Israel before America first. Listen to me, okay?
There's an interesting thread between Tim Pool and Infowars too. I maybe I'm the only person that thinks of it in this way, because I brought this up before, and people are like, "No, Tim Pool was big before this," but I didn't even know Tim Pool as a name. I know he worked at like Vice and stuff, but for me, he got big because I think it was pre-2016 election, but Donald Trump said something offhand about like, "Oh, look what's happening in Sweden." It was just like this offhanded remark, and all of the talking heads in the media were like, "Donald Trump is stowing fear. He's just shooting from the hip. He's saying that Sweden isn't Sweden anymore. What is he even talking about? He's crazy." And I think it was Paul Joseph Watson, put out a call, or it might have been Owen Schroyer. It was one of those two guys, and they were like, "Infowars will pay the ticket for anyone that will go and be boots on ground and go to Sweden and go and show exactly if there's something going on." And Tim Pool ended up being the guy that gets his ticket paid by Infowars to research it. And it was somewhat unbiased, where he was interviewing people and they're like, "Yeah, there's these immigrants coming in and they've got bombs now. And like, normally we don't have bombs in this neighborhood, but now we do." And that was the thing that Trump was kind of saying, but that was Tim Pool's big breakout onto like the normie world, it seems, at least to me.
Yeah, after he went on Rogan with Jack Dorsey, I remember that too. And I found it interesting digging into that, that Jack Dorsey, while sitting in the chair, was paying Joe Rogan in Bitcoin. So the interview was a paid for interview, and like it was all set up, and not ever Joe didn't ask him. It was the same as Mark Zuckerberg sitting there, and not one time did he bring up LifeLog. So it just feels like some of these people sit there and he doesn't bring up the thing.
Didn't we talk about hold on, what was it? It escaped my mind.
It's escaped. Can you imagine? Like the thought is like, run, run. Like you didn't just, maybe it'll come back.
Like the train of thought's actually a train. You lost your train of thought.
Yeah. I watched some, I think Donut was on, I want to watch it. I haven't on with Alex Stein, Conspiracy Castle. And I was like, oh,
they're talking about cocaine in the White House. Whose cocaine was it?
I want to see it. I like it. So shout out to Alex Stein and Donut.
None of that crappy like niacin baby laxative crap that Hunter was bringing in. With Trump, it's like fish scale.
Oh yeah, because look how close Palm Beach is to Miami. Floridians don't mess around with that baby laxative bullshit. Floridians, you have to get full on Bell's palsy.
Weren't they saying that was fucking what's that bitch's name that was running for president? Kamala's cocaine because of her like sniffing problem on camera.
Oh, like she had a little upper.
I would way rather do a line from Trump than one from Kamala.
Same.
Not because they're cool, but just I feel that she would have some weird crap
I bet
going
you Trump
in hers.
still has lewds. You guys, that would be like when people are like, if you guys could travel back to the 70s, what would you do? I'm like, try a Quaalude.
Yeah, same.
It's like up there, so high on my list.
Just to see what it's like, you know?
I just want to see what it's like.
But it's like NASA. Like we've lost the technology. We just can't make it anymore.
Apparently.
Someone lost the recipe.
I know, and for whatever reason, out of all the things that get banned, out of all the things that it's like we can remake everything. You can get everything hot on the streets. But those, when they were done, they were done. And there's rumors that certain people like they wait until somebody dies because there's like a bottle of Quaaludes in their grandma's safe. Like it's stories of passed down lewds.
Well, same idea. Like stuff that
Quaalude
disappears
coin.
in like because for whatever weird reason, like the sponge, like female prophylactics or whatever. Like that's weird too. It was like a big thing, and then it just disappeared because apparently the plant where they made them was unsafe or something like that.
A sponge seems weird.
It seems weird and gross.
Seems
to
like
me,
a
but
mask.
Yeah.
Like wearing a mask. It's like, oh, I just gotta let me.
You can get sponges and get it at Publix.
Way back in the olden days, that's what that like back before fucking birth control, they used to cut them up and soak them in vinegar and just shove them up there.
Have you guys seen the Putin movie? It seems like
There's some
such
history for you.
propaganda. Like where they've used like the highest grade technology to like make it look like Putin the whole way through.
Like a biopic, like a
Yeah,
movie
it's called
about
Putin.
himself.
It's in the movie theater. And I wonder if we can watch. Do you think we could probably watch the preview, right? You think we can watch the preview without getting pulled
I have
down?
no idea.
I don't think you'd get pulled, but you might get a not a copyright strike, but a copyright where they like take all your revenue or whatever.
So you guys ahead of time, because afterward, when I have to check, they'll be like, do you want to just cut it out of the show? And then there'll be an empty spot where you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Why did it jump like that? Because we're about to watch the Putin preview, and that's what they're going to make me do, I bet. So, because I just think it's so crazy. It was like the Gog Magog preview. Let me see. Putin movie preview. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. Why?
$15 billion.
I fucking can't.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Beautiful.
wait, let me open.
Gorgeous.
Pause this and make sure you guys are here.
I got killer munchies right now.
I'm gonna be starving for the next 3 months. So there's
I'm gonna
that.
make some chicken and
If you
shrimp
guys,
dumplings.
I love podcast cringe. I watch this show all the time. Really Graceful. Shout out to Really Graceful. She makes great content. Anyways, since it's up here also on the screen. Okay, and we're gonna have this quick commercial because this whatever. Oh, I can skip this. Okay.
This is my son. He's someone special. Please treat him well.
Get him!
It's better to die standing than live on your knees.
And the results are in for the presidential election in Russia. Vladimir Putin has won with 53.44% of the votes.
It's an embarrassing result.
What would have been the satisfactory result, Mr. President?
100.
Volodya, what will you do in this brave new world?
I can work as a cabbie. What kind of driving is that, you idiot? She's my new wife. I am erasing you from the history books.
We are living in strange times when we can stuff our faces with delicacies. But there's no toilet paper in Russia?
Where did he get that? You forgot to ask what I want in return. Anyone who does not accept the deal must leave.
Let's start this party!
Ready, set, go.
You'll be the most powerful man in the world.
What's your strategy?
Our plan is to bring them back to the Stone Age.
How can his kingdom last? Hand your power over to me. Only I can save.
That looks so AI.
A lot of it is because it looks just like him, like they AI'd over an actor's face. But it looks like such a crazy piece of propaganda. Like we were supposed to be living like Zelensky in a tutu, skipping around right now, kind of world.
He's
the
got
most
my vote.
dangerous man on this earth. What? For real? For me,
I think it's more of like a Forbes list thing. Like he's the most dangerous man that isn't dangerous enough to keep his name out of the Forbes list.
Yeah, you have
he's
to pay.
dangerous because there's not a Rothschild bank in Russia. That's why he's dangerous.
It's crazy. But it is such a the whole movie is so interesting and it's all over my YouTube. That and tons of propaganda about, do you know what it's like to be Ukrainian? You have to leave your house. Your kids are giving up for adoption. And I'm like, skip. What are all of these constant commercials on my YouTube? It used to be like I could just set a queue and I could just let all my friends' podcasts play all day. I never had to go find them. I could just sit at one point and set all the cues. Now it's just constant commercials on YouTube, and it's all about Ukraine or that video of Putin. They're like,
I like
also,
Putin.
Fun note, there is Rothschild headquarters in Russia. I think that's just a psyop that they put out to make it seem like they haven't infiltrated everywhere. Yeah, there's absolutely a headquarters in Russia from Rothschild and Co.
Don't they have? But doesn't Russia have their own like banking system rather than being?
This one isn't as much to do with the banking system. I think this one's the oil industry. But I mean, potato, and you're you're at that level. It doesn't matter if you're talking about currency or power or oil or what, as long as you have a seat at the table.
Currency.
And even since day one, the Rothschilds were more about intelligence than they ever were about money. I think that was where they made their money, was having a intelligence network that was propped up and that they could deliver messages way faster than any king, prince, or potentate could.
I don't want to get premium YouTube. They're such a shitty platform. You don't know how much they shadow ban us and take from us and put up things on us. Somebody suggested that Bach Precision suggested that I get premium YouTube, and
You
it's
could
like
just use Brave too. If you use Brave, it just automatically cuts all the ads out.
How many
on
years
my
ago?
telly. Like I could just stream it still the same.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using Brave forever, and I don't see any YouTube ads unless I use a different browser for some reason.
You know, my brain is so
I
random.
love this.
So
What?
random. How long ago was it when we all had plasma screen TVs? Was it like 15 years ago? Plasma screen
Or
this,
liquid crystal.
plasma screen that. And all of a sudden, they took those away, gave us something else, and now, oh, we discovered plasma. But we've had plasma, we've used it, but now they took it away and then they brought it back, and it's like, oh, we found it again, thinking that we forgot. I don't know why they do this to us, but they do it over and over and over again with all these technologies that are not even like maybe 40 years old, and they'll bring it back as something new, like conductive stovetop fucking stovetops. We've had that in the past, but now they're bringing it up as new technology. But it's not new. Did you guys recall the plasma screens and all that?
I remember that. I remember they were so hot it would heat the entire room of my house. I couldn't wait to get rid of that freaking thing.
Crazy.
Plasma TVs, how huge and thick and heavy. Yeah, it was one of the worst purchases I made in my life. I felt like I spent like a crazy amount of money. I don't even want to say, it's embarrassing, on a
$4
TV
grand
that
probably.
was like the size of, I don't even know. Like
It's
I don't even-
huge.
like no, it wasn't that big.
Oh.
It wasn't that. It was like right when the technology came out, and so it was like, but it was flat, heavy as fuck. It was like so quickly afterward that it would like TVs just went down in price. That's one of the few things out of all the things that I remember. It's like eggs are 10 times the amount they were, but a TV, I can get 10 TVs now for what it used to cost me to get a
Yeah.
TV.
I just bought a TV.
Yeah, and you go and you look at TVs and you're always surprised, like this somehow wrong with this. Why is this so cheap
Yeah.
for this much TV?
Yeah.
And you feel weird. You're like, oh, I guess I'll just get the bigger one. And then you have a little room at your house and you're like, this is far too much TV for this room.
I'm pretty sure they probably discovered something about plasma screen TVs that was actually beneficial to humans, and they stopped using it, and it prevented some kind of MK Ultra actually happening to people in a like energy frequency type of way, since plasma is like really healing stuff or good stuff.
I don't know.
Or
Just
good
because
energy.
they called it though doesn't mean it was it.
Yeah.
You know, like LED or
So why would they
plasma,
name it plasma?
because it was like ooey and gooey in there.
Because at the time of plasma, there was liquid crystal and plasma. There were two different things, and then it all switched to LED.
But it is curious because Obama sure did want us to get rid of those, our old Edison bulbs,
Yeah.
and fill our house with those LED bulbs. I wonder sometimes if LEDs are what make you sick.
Yes, they are. They deteriorate your bones too. Bone cancer? Now you know. Like,
Remember the fluorescent bulbs that came out before
Yeah.
the LED ones, like the high efficiency ones? I had a friend, those were actually really bad for you. I had a friend that almost lost her eyesight because at least this is what her eye doctor told her. Who knows if this was fake news, but that she had it in a lamp that was like at this specific angle, and I guess the way that the light was coming out of these high compact fluorescent tubes, it could actually cause an issue with your retina or something, and it would like help separate it a little bit if it hit it at just the right
What?
angle. And this was known enough. They just started phasing it out by saying LEDs were more efficient, but there was legitimately some health concerns with the fluorescent bulbs.
huh? They could have killed us easily if they wanted to.
Oh, they want
Oh,
to.
they do. That I know. But
They
again, no
had
fear. They're not gonna
they
get
had to like make the TV seem so lucrative so we could all put the bigger, like brainwashing 4K. They keep upping it where our eyeballs can't even see that well anymore. And now you are like, oh, all my old favorite shows look like I'm watching a set. It's like they almost wanted that to happen.
Though it was weird because during lockdowns and everything, when movie theaters were still open, our local movie theater just played like 80s movies. So we went and watched Back to the Future, which I thought my kids were gonna be like, oh, this is terrible. This is so horrible. But it on the big screen, it looked so good. I was actually impressed, and they loved the movie. I never thought they would like it.
What movie?
Back to the Future.
It was even better. You know what? I like it.
No,
like
I
it
do
so
too.
much.
I just didn't think that my kids would relate to it because I thought it was gonna look so cheesy to them. And on the big screen, it didn't look cheesy at all. It didn't look like a set. It didn't look stupid. It didn't
You
look like
guys, even
cheap.
the coin and you saying Back to the Future right now, doesn't it feel like Biff has the almanac?
Yes, it does.
It's like this is so the day I'm like, this coin minimum is gonna run. I just want everyone to know, if you're seeing it now or hearing this, you're probably early, because bare minimum it runs to 17 because we troll a little, but probably it runs to 47.
Love it.
I like that.
But if it's crazy and hits the 69 code, which is what Bitcoin was on July 9th or June 9th, it was at 69,000 on June 9th. That would be a wild run.
It was 147 when you said that. I guess 247 there. So
I don't know. It's so wild.
It's 146 by me. How the hell are you ahead of minute? Oh no, never mind. It's 48. I'm blind.
yeah, it's like 48.
I assume that you guys have heard of this before, but just in case not, the Back to the Future predicting 9/11. Have you seen this video
Yes,
before?
but say some of the facts. I don't mind talking about it again.
So there's a long video by my he's been on this show, I think. David Charles Plate was on this show once or twice, and he's got a really long version of this. It's like a 9, or I think there's even an 11-hour version of this. You can probably find it on archive.org called Sorry Cassandra, You Were Right About Everything, or something like that. But that's the 9-hour version. There's a shorter version if you just go and search for 9/11 or the Back to the Future Predicts Everything, which is really about a video about Back to the Future predicting 9/11, and it has like 5 or 6 really key points in it. And I think it's Zemeckis is one of the directors in it, and that he might have known something ahead of time because there's scenes in both Back to the Future 1 and 2 that indicate that the Twin Towers falling, the Twin Pines malls, that it's a group of terrorists in a car that crash into it in the movie itself. There's like so many of these different synchronicities that line up. It's one of my favorite like conspiracy kind of like junk food
I
of
think
all
so
time.
too. I think the Back to the Future predicting 9/11 is up there, if not better than the moon landing with Stanley Kubrick. Like,
Well, that's like grandpa's conspiracy theory
yeah,
now.
but it's all the videos that came out of in the last decade, in the last 5 years, that connect the two, I think are super interesting. In that same kind of vein, because I probably watched that video with Back to the Future and the Twin Towers, because I'm like, there's so many synchronicities that they put in there. It's pretty wild. I don't know. And then speaking of the Twin Towers, did you see Twin Peaks? David, what's his face died?
Yeah.
What's his face? Thomas? David Lynch.
David Lynch. Old what's his face?
What's his face?
You know, the guy.
Mm-hmm. I know. I think there's tons of like Biff connections with everything we have going on right now, just with Back to the Future too.
Just even you asking what would you go back and do, and it's like invest in Bitcoin, you know.
What about if everybody's getting the opportunity right now to invest in Bitcoin? like all over again. You know, like if we're in a time loop and Jimmy Carter's dead and there's going to be snow in Miami. But it does seem like that kind of weird, I don't know, something weird's going on. Something weird's happening, you guys.
This is a classic Twitter post. Does anyone else feel like something weird's going on?
That's
and then
it.
You get,
That's
TikTok
the
is
most
like
amount.
that. You guys feel like something's about to happen? You guys feel like you need
Yeah.
to prepare? Do you guys feel like you guys? I'm like, no, I don't feel it. Yeah, things are weird, but it's always been weird. We just don't realize it sometimes, but it's always been weird. Look where we're at 20 years later. Like fucking crazy. And when was it? 2016 when he fucking became president? It doesn't feel that long ago. It feels like 4 years ago. Like literally. I don't know. Time is
I
weird. That's the
know
only
a
thing that's
couple
weird.
of actual working men that did side jobs, you know, doing their normal stuff, whatever their craft is and skills. And one of them actually was a tree trimmer. And so we went over, he lives in Puerto Rico. And so we went to a property and the guy said, "Is it okay if I pay you in Solana?" And he didn't do any crypto at all, but his brothers, he called his brother and his brother's like, "Yes, it's totally okay if he pays you in Solana." And so the amount of Solana that he gave him, like, he's like, "What do I do with this? I don't even know." And his brother's like, "I'll help you." But it was like this crazy amount of money. And just because he still does a physical job where somebody else, like, they made this certain amount of money in a time that they didn't sweat. And so the like amount they get is so much bigger because they're like, "Whoa, I value your sweat equity," because they didn't get the money with the same amount of sweat. And so he got paid so much money. Like, and because I just feel like it's a different class of people that are becoming rich overnight. It's not a like class. It's like just everyday people are just like, "Oh, I put $50 in this and I woke up with a few 100,000." And then it's not just that. I know people that actually have taken a whole bunch of crypto and they just use it to find missing children. Like, I know people that have done some really crazy, like, crowd-funded part of the border wall. Like, a lot of stuff. And then when you look at some of these coins and think that this is just a crowd fund, and it just really sometimes it inspires me, like, gosh, you guys, look at what we could be capable of. Look how much money we could raise and how quickly for anything we decided was a good thing for all of us. It's kind of crazy. It's like just this much money behind this cause, whatever the cause is. You could be like,
It seems usually the cause though is like, I'm gonna get rich. Like that's usually where it starts for
I know,
most
and there's a
people.
lot of people that have, and then they're doing stuff with it. And so I don't know. I just feel like we've had 99% of the wealth fleeced from us. Like our entire lives, it's just been going away in the opposite direction of any of these coins. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, it could, it could be happening, but it's just like we're all, I don't know. Yeah, but
We're not supposed to be working our entire lives to like
you're not supposed to work 40 hours a week to have a hand in your
Yeah,
pocket and
the
take
fuck
10
outta
of those hours that you just have to give to the government to give to dancing Ukrainians.
It's crazy. You're right, Chaney. Like,
but it's just that
That's
taxes
weird.
to me make me like insane. Like
Me too.
it makes me, it's not just insane. Insurance makes me insane. You mean I can pay into you for 20 years and when I need you, sorry, we're bankrupt. Get the like all this shit just feels insane to me. The idea that they can tax you in the front and in the back feels insane. Like
Yeah.
it just feels like we're living in this perpetual insanity that it's like, I don't know.
You could even say a virtual insanity.
Virtual insanity.
It is virtual insanity.
That's Jamiroquai with hat.
Is that what he was talking about? Was Jamiroquai talking about Bitcoin the whole time?
But it all needs energy and it all needs pumps. Like it all needs energy. All this stuff needs energy. Vegas is just an energy supplier. The dams are just
The
energy
world.
suppliers.
It's
Yeah, it's like
worlds.
the same way of them like wanting to jibby jabby you eventually with like, are you moving energy? Can you mine crypto for me? That's $1 million idea. Start a gym that all the equipment mines crypto. And you can just plug your card in and then just mine crypto on your treadmill or while you're lifting your weights.
Well, that's like
If
this
you
new
guys
gym
run with
that
that,
I'm at. Yeah, this new gym that I'm
look
at.
up the
I
good guys.
had to use the elliptical last night, and it was it shows you how much power you save by how like efficient you work. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, so it's a little bit newer than any of the ellipticals I've used before, but
Like those water bottle things at gyms where it's like, bing, this gym machine has saved this amount of
yeah,
plastic from the ocean.
yep.
Where
We
it's
have
like, you
the
can fill your water
or
bottle here. This little arrogant water bottle machine that just wants to tell you how much plastic it saved every time you fill up.
Yep.
And here's how much extra mold you've intaken because of that.
Period.
Yeah.
We
I
have
know.
those at
That's what I
organics
keep
where they
thinking about.
taste freaking gross. The water's not good.
Everybody is like, oh my God, you guys, my water bottle is BPA free. And this is the only kind of chemical people knew about in their plastic forever. And I really am just like, but there's all these other chemicals. And now you legitimately have that plastic by every other, your armpits, your crotch, all your other,
Well,
you
not even
took it out
that.
of drinking it and you put it on your biggest orifice, your skin, your biggest organ. You're like, I'm going to cover my skin in it.
Xenoestrogens, plastics put so much xenoestrogens in your body that you have all this freaking estrogen in your body, from the packaging that your food's in to your shower curtain to like your laundry detergent, that these
Paint
plastics are getting
even
into your
on
body.
your
But
wall.
this stuff right here, it does help you to release xenoestrogens. So like I can tell when I've been exposed to more, because like it looks like mango juice when I pee. That's how gross. That's me dumping the extra estrogen from my body. Like, it's bad. And just think about the people who don't do that.
And this is all the meats that you're intaking in your eggs, and because they're just putting all the stuff in all the animals. Who knows what they're
Yeah.
spraying on the gardens?
Dude, paint
Exactly.
is a huge psyop. We went from lead paint to acrylic paint, which is plastic. Like, it's nothing. There's lots of plastic in our paint. The frequency that it's emitting alone off of our walls on a daily basis on the type of paint we fucking use.
Because they said kids ate lead
Shut
paint.
the fuck up.
And how many people are allergic to
Ugh.
latex, and then they have latex paint all over
Thank
their
you.
walls?
And then they wonder why they have like these sicknesses and why they're getting mold growing in their fucking sheetrock and in their walls and even in their insulation, because you're sealing your walls up with plastic. There's nothing to breathe there.
There's nothing to breathe. It literally is
Yeah.
holding a little warm container.
You paint brick with that fucking acrylic paint, guess what's happening to your brick? It's going to start dying and it'll start falling apart. The brick will die. It'll suffocate. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing, and we don't look at it. We don't talk about it. We don't test
Do you
it.
think like the real color of brick, like that brown, do you think it's blood?
I think they used to, but now I think it's just like the type of dirt and mud that they use. But I definitely think that blood was a big part of their architecture.
Well, because even when you look at the salt mines with where they mine the pink Himalayan salt, it looks like fucking slabs of bacon. It looks
It
like
sure
muscle.
does. That
looks
is
like
very
meat.
wild. I want to pull that up real quick, and then we can. if you
Yeah.
guys
What
have
about the
anything else you
Rainbow
wanna talk about.
Mountains? Like the Rainbow Mountains in Turkey, like how they're different, multicolored.
I'm putting in bacon salt mine.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get the right
Like,
image at all. I sure
I
didn't.
forgot what that.
I just don't
There's a
have the
crystal too that
mental
actually looks
energy.
like that.
That's what she said, the Himalayan salt mine. I
No,
just
besides the Himalayan salt mine, there's an actual crystal. I forgot the name of it. I think it starts with a rhodonite. That's the thing that also looks like bacon as well, the type of like actual crystal that people collect besides Himalayan salt. I think that's what
I'm just getting a recipe of how to make good bacon with Himalayan salt. That seems delicious. I'm not going to pull it up. Never mind. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we skedaddle?
Do they have bacon in the Himalayas?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's rhodochrosite. Yeah, rhodochrosite. It looks like legit fucking slabs of bacon. No, you can't fucking
No.
see it. No.
No.
And you can
Abbie always
find
tells you how to
huge
fix that.
petrified giant crystal. That's what it is. That's what I think it is.
If Bernie is still here, he was asking about the Rothschild in Russia connection. If you just search for Rothschild Global Advisory, they got a list of every different Rothschild headquarters all across the world, and the one that it was as recent as 2022, which is after all the conspiracy theories about Putin kicking the Rothschilds out and declaring his own like Russian bank. They had a building in Moscow at Romanov Lane. So yeah, now it seems like it's been reclassified as an art museum, which seems like a typical Rothschild thing to do.
I thought that way back, I don't know, maybe it was like the Desert Storm or a little after one of those desert storms, that there was 4 places that the Rothschilds weren't, and it was Cuba, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. But I heard
Right, which is why they were supposed to be at the top of everyone's list to like take them out.
But it used to be
that.
Iraq too, and then Iraq fell, and I heard Russia did too, and
I thought Afghanistan was one of them too,
and
wasn't it?
Cuba like got a centralized bank.
Every
I
country
think, in
we've
it.
gone to war with, essentially.
Right, yeah. This is specific about a centralized bank, but that doesn't mean that Rothschild doesn't also control like the oil industry in these companies. They don't necessarily. I mean that is the most the classic version of the Rothschild quote. I can't remember, it was Lord Mayor Rothschild, but his quote was like, I care not who issues a country's laws as long as I got control over like the money supply, and having control over the money supply does include having control over the natural resources in a country. That in many cases that would be worth way more than being able to control like the ruble. Like if you can control
The
crude
actual
oil, you
resource.
probably that's way more stable than the ruble would be.
Did you guys hear about Venezuela wanting to make free fucking Puerto Rico from United States? Venezuela, the most communist fucking socialist country as we speak, like to this day. They want and they don't
Isn't
want to
that
be saved.
the Bitcoin maximalist country?
Yeah.
Aren't they the ones that are like buying like 50
And
Bitcoin a
they
day or
want
something?
to. They're talking about like something about paying each one of their citizens in Bitcoin, like in the same way like Alaska gets a payout. Like, yeah,
a
they're talking about
UBI?
like certain countries that all dump their Bitcoin, all regret dumping their Bitcoin. So then you wonder, if you look at certain countries in like 2021, 2022, 2023 that dumped their Bitcoin, and now Bitcoin is $100 million or $100,000. It's just wow. It's just, I don't know. It's like Wall Street took too long in our attention spans. They're like, sorry, we're only open Monday through Friday, and we ring the bell, and this is what happens, and yada yada yada. And then there's these other markets that are all open at this time, where the crypto market is 24/7. 7 days a week. Like you can't set it on your time. It's not like, sorry, we're going to play daylight savings time here. I don't know. It's not like the same as all of the business, like the normal cubicles. Oh, thank you. It's El Salvador paying their citizens.
Okay.
Thank you. You guys are the best. This is why we have the smartest chat in the whole world.
Absolutely.
Don't
The
mind us.
best.
We're hanging out with each other with little to no brain power at this point.
I have none right now, if I'm being honest.
I have none.
What do you want? It's 3 a.m. on the
Yeah,
East
it's
Coast.
totally 3:06 a.m.
I'm hungry. I can't wait
The
to
whole
eat.
entire crypto market, like the Trump coins, probably become right now as we've been sitting here one of the biggest, like top few hundred commodities on the planet.
Yep.
That
And we
is
knew it.
so crazy to even conceptualize.
It's still at the 14, 15 billion market cap. It's
Like-
up, down, up, down. It's crazy.
But even think of XRP or Doge or one of those coins market caps. And then it's like this coin is bigger than those.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Think of how long we've been talking about those coins.
Yeah.
It is blowing my mind.
I can't. I don't understand, but it is what it is. I wish I got in earlier times, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
That's what I'm just like. The whole thing, you know how many crazy, like, I don't have a ton of money in it, but I can't believe how much it is right now.
I'm like almost triple my money right now. Almost. So good $15, guys. Yay! I love it. $15 I didn't have. Shit.
Look at it. XRP, stupid bitches.
Fuck yes. XRP family, I love you guys. All you that have been holding, I love you.
I don't know. I think it's the weirdest with the WEF. I just keep them like, oh, this is so crazy.
Oh, I know. It's totally weird. It's totally fucking.
But the whole thing, it's like all of them. It's like the whole entire digital currency, Starlink, Terminator.
It's all a
toilet paper.
Fucking pudgy penguins. Fucking Shiba Inu.
But it's kind of funny though, because then think of like, honestly, a
Should make a
pudgy
Layla coin.
penguin is worth more money than any currency with a queen on it.
Dude.
Or with a president on it. Like, well, not anymore.
I got an idea and I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to say it.
It's already been right now. If you look it up, it's happening.
It's probably not.
What is that from? It's like the ever present wow is happening now. Like it's really happening.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Do you guys have anything to plug this week? You have anything fun going on?
Just work. Our restaurant is doing great. Word of mouth is spreading. One of the mayors of a town in Atlanta, Georgia, wants to open one of the Nilly's wine bars out there and have the recipes there and like do what we're doing here over there. So if this goes well, I might be traveling over there, training some people, getting paid, expanding.
No, we got a franchise going.
Like I'm just like humble about everything. Like when I speak to people, like I just don't I don't even tell people I'm a chef. It's like, oh yeah, I just, I cook everything and like get everything ready. I don't like to brag or anything. Like, you do all that? It's like, yeah, I do. Surprise, surprise. I'm full of talents. I just don't like to talk about them. Sometimes you just got to like produce the stuff for people to believe it. And then once you do, it's like, oh, now they want to call me. Now they want to hit me up. Now they want to know what's up. Yeah, I see you. It's okay.
Do you guys have anything going on this week?
I got this coming week, I think my third installment of my Mind Games series, which is on Conspired TV, is coming out. It's on Mushrooms. It took me like 2 months to finally finish this thing. But also what's even cooler is the first 2 episodes of Mind Games. The first one's on Memory Palace, and the second one is on NLP. And those will both be on my Patreon and on YouTube members next week. Actually, I posted the first episode today on Patreon and YouTube, but the issue 2 will be out next week.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And probably a lot of our audience does have Paranoid American stuff, so they know it's top quality. But if you don't, Thomas only puts out the best stuff, and most of it you can learn from too, but all of it you'll probably laugh from.
Yeah. It's really
But
great
it's
content.
yeah, it's a real way that you can't even believe how much you're absorbing.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching anything about Acoustic Kitty 400 times, then Layla might not remember at all.
Well, that was actually the premise, the very first one on Memory Palace. The whole point is that you don't even really have to pay attention to the video. There's a little bit of an Easter egg, but even if you don't even pay attention to it really, if you just watch it and you just see what's happening on the screen, by the end of it, you will remember a very specific shopping list. And I'm not going to tell you what's on it, but after you watch it, next time you're in the store, you're going to be like, damn, I don't know why I want these 4 items. I don't understand where that came from. It came from the Memory Palace video because it basically implants this like shopping list.
Typical
in your brain,
Mason telling everyone they're MK Ultraing you. If you guys feel like it this week, you can check out Club Maha podcast. That will be on hopefully Wednesday nights. And it's pretty fun and entertaining and full of information and about making America healthy again. And I also have finally twisted my Maria's arm, and I will be producing a live show for her. And I don't know what she's advertising about it, so I don't want to like spill the beans on that, but I'm really excited about it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Kind of
Awesome.
hopefully this too, I am going to be moving this, you guys, it won't be any different for you guys, but hopefully it ups the level of the Secret Society of Good Guys a little more, that I'm doing it more full time, like it's like leaning into my real job. And I don't know, I feel like there's a good opportunity, like I feel like I'm just going to say it aloud, 2025 I will be able to do this full time, and I'm really excited about it.
I'm so excited about that for you.
Yeah. It's overdue now. I feel like it's like I can take my comeuppance. I've
Oh, yeah.
You're
not
very
been a quote
creative,
unquote
too, so-
patriot for a billion years. I've just put out info and lost accounts and kept my head in books and research things, and now I feel like okay, I can, make a living now. I don't have to feel like I'm a grifter.
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing. You
Patriot.
get into this whole thing where it's like, oh, this person's trying to make money now, this person's trying to make money. I'm trying to leave a fucking job that makes me unhappy. I'm trying to live my fairy tale every single fucking day until I'm no longer in this flesh. I want a dream life. I want the same for you. So whatever that means to you, go do that thing. So I'm so happy.
You shill. You need to go back and work for Chipotle or Dow Chemical like all the non-shills do.
Yeah, you need to go unhappy and go market something you don't like, or drop off food to an unhappy person. You need to fucking go LARP more. I don't want to LARP anymore. I'm so over LARPing for a living. That's what I feel like most of the people are doing. And a lot of people are really bitter when other people get free of that any way they do, whether it's opening a restaurant or writing a comic book or producing a podcast or winning a ton of money in a cryptocurrency, because you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Like whatever the thing is, if you have $1 million, it's like all the people that would hate on you for winning the lottery aren't your fucking real friends. And so, yeah, I'm a big upper of people when they win the lottery or when good stuff happens to them. I'm happy for them.
Well, 2025 is the year I get my pro card, so there you go. That's my big comeuppance. So.
That's your comeuppance. Say it,
Yep.
Claim it, and so it is.
My year is the
Abbie
26th.
Ramsey. Yep.
2026. This year's for me working like I have been fucking doing, continuing that. 2026. Chef's kiss. It's my year.
I know. I love working. I will work until the day I die. I'm
Same.
just overworking for a dream that is not mine, that I don't necessarily support.
Yep.
So yeah, I have done all the things. I have skill sets. I'm a Jane of all trades. And I would like to do them for myself or my friends. That is what I'm up.
The creators.
Yeah. Anyways.
So be a god of your trade.
I love you guys so much. We will be back Sunday for sure, as long as the lights don't go out. or the sun doesn't crack in half. And but other than that, we love you so much. And thank you guys for listening. If you feel like hitting the thumbs up or subscribing to all the people on the stage on your way out, we appreciate you. Okay.
Love you.
XOXO, turn your volume down because Juliette Lewis is a loud bitch. Okay. Bye-bye.
Can't you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes the The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing who our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguist good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguist good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.